can't see. Okay.
Boom. We live, huh? Live out here in these streets. Let me see if I go find her right quick.
Everybody, we is live. So go ahead and share it to your people. Share it to your peoples. Go ahead and just share all over social media.
You heard me? Let's do this.
Go ahead, let them know we in the room. Let them know we about to take off. Tell them that the game is about to start because we about to use all basketball analogies. Now, I got a few in my back pocket. So the tip-off is about to begin.
And everything. Talking about field goals and all kinds of stuff.
And I'm not going to be talking about field goals. I know what sport I'm talking about. I'm talking about taking it to the hoop. All right, I'm talking about that and one, that alley-oop, that two-pointer from the three. Like, I want to talk about things like that. So that's why we're here tonight, because we're about to get into it. Everything related to basketball. We are your start in 5. I am Tiara. We got Justin. We got AB. AB, what you want me to call you? AB, Mr. Bracewell.
Just call me AB. AB is good.
His name. Then we got Ink that we just found out Ink was her name. But we got the starting 5, Ink. And then we got Mr. Michael Brantley, my co-host in the building. Y'all, I'm geeked. And when I tell you I'm geeked, I'm like super geeked. And no, I'm not on nothing. I'm just on, I'm here. All right. So I'm going to let us introduce ourselves. We're not going to be, I'm not gonna lie. We may be before you long, but if you want to stay, you can stay.
Yeah, don't even lie.
You can leave. But we about to be answering some questions. They're gonna be real juicy. Please don't be afraid to ask your questions. Because if you here, you got questions, or you just want to be entertained, you can do that too. But it's a lot of us that's still single up out here in these streets. And I'm just trying to understand why this whole conversation started at, wait a minute. Where are the husbands at? Where are the good men? I mean, where's the baby daddies? I mean, I just want to know where they hang out because I'm not finding none of them. I mean, I'm out here single as a dollar bill, single ready to mingle, and it just hasn't been like the dating scene hasn't been given what it's supposed to be given. So I'm thinking we need to get a different approach.
Oh, you want a baby daddy?
Nah. I want the husband then the baby daddy. But the point I was making is I ain't even got one of them yet. You feel me? No. I got us all in the room. We got the men here to help challenge some of because I know me, I got some belief systems that I need challenged because I've grown up a lot with just women. So I really don't know the mind of a man. I really ain't spend a lot of time with them. You feel me? But here we are, and we about to get some questions answered because listen, I'm gonna ask my questions because I'm trying not to be single by the end of 2022. I don't know about you, but I'm trying to get the ring and the man and the boo, the ring and the boo. So see, I'm gonna be honest, Ink. All I can do is be real. All right. So I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourself. Justin, you can go first, then AB, then Ink, then Mike. Mike, is that okay if I call you Mike?
I'm sad. Do what you do. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Okay. So we got us all in the building, and they're gonna introduce themselves, and we're gonna get right into the question. We got our own questions, but make sure you put no questions in the comment section because we ready. We ready. All right. Justin, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. It's your boy Justin Pierre. I'm here. Thanks everybody for having me. I am a producer, Twitch streamer, college student, all around pretty good positive vibe type person. So, I'm here. Love y'all.
Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. All right, AB.
What's up, everybody? My name is AB Bracewell. I'm a therapist, an author, just an all-around laid-back guy. I'm just appreciative of being a part of the platform.
Dope, Miss Ink.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you all for just joining us and, spending your Friday night with us is about to be a party. Back in the days when we wasn't saying we was in the party on Friday nights, okay?
Yes. Ladies getting free, so we're here.
Getting free, huh?
We're here.
So my name is Ink. I am 27 years old. I have my bachelor's in PR and business. Just really have a heart to just see the kingdom of God here on earth. And yeah, I think I'm called to, I know that the Lord has called me to family, to restore the family structure and just really show people Jesus to the unchurched and the unreached.
I love it. Yeah. Unreached. Yes, we're reaching.
That's what I'm saying. It takes a diamond to reach a diamond. That's what I'm talking about. What's poppin' with y'all? My name is Michael Brandon Jr. I know y'all see it on the screen, you hear me? I am 42, single, no kids. Electrician, have my own electrical company called Light of the World Electric, you hear me? So I do my thing. Elder in the church, also assistant pastor. Stuff I don't really mention that much because hey, I don't like the flaunt titles and all that. But yeah, look, we about to come in here. We about to do this thing. We about to turn up in here tonight, man. We about to have these discussions. We about to talk about these topics. And look, man, we about to have a breakthrough for these single people. You hear me?
Let's go!
So we can get some things
Come
together.
on, singles!
Come on.
Come on, singles! Y'all not as excited. I mean,
They not
listen,
there. Come on.
you know,
Let's
like
do it.
there's a real, and I'm gonna introduce myself because I can't take it for granted that I've never been on Justin's, AB's, Michael, or Ink's page. So I'm gonna introduce myself in a minute. But one thing that we do is we don't ask the right questions. One thing we do is we try to be shy and hide our questions, and we don't get what we're supposed to give because we holding back a lot. So listen, do not hold back. I am Tiara Griffin. I am your Heal Her relationship coach, and I am completely enamored, passionate, called, appointed, equipped to help women heal from daddy issues. I study emotional health. Because what my thing is, I want to help you heal before you deal. Because I'm tired of seeing people get into relationships and somehow end up at divorce because you came in with the wrong motives or intentions. So we can have some more marriages and get that rate, especially down in the house of God in the kingdom. What we're doing is we're going to heal before we get into relationship. We're going to heal from daddy issues, and we're going to heal from your ex-man, because you cannot make somebody pay for which somebody else did to you in the past. So I'm ready to have that conversation. So if you're struggling with soul ties, if you're struggling with your inner child, if you're struggling in your married people, you can let it go because you already got your people. We trying to get our people, so we don't want you to get out our lines. So I'm Tiara again, and I'm here just to give. I have a lot of opinions, y'all, and I have a lot of sense. So I'm here for it. So that's who I am. Make sure you follow each and every one of us. We'll give the taglines later. But we're just going to get into it right now. Okay. So the first question we're going to ask, I'm not going to ask the one for women. Let me go find a question for the mans because.
For the mans?
For the mans.
With
I'm
an
asking
S?
question to the mans. Because one thing that, first of all, where do y'all hang out? That's my question. Where do the single men hang out? Where y'all at?
Man,
Like,
y'all can catch me at the gas station, you heard me?
Like, you gotta let me ask the question first. Where y'all at? Where y'all hang out?
Where we at?
Where can we find a high quality, good man who's ready to get married? Where y'all at? Because y'all ain't at church. So where y'all at?
Wow.
Wait
a second.
Took a shot at all three.
Right.
I'm trying to say, what I'm doing
at church.
I don't know. I met y'all today, and I met y'all a couple days ago. We've been having really great conversations. Y'all might be in church, but where the rest of them at? Because talk to us. Where y'all at?
I don't know. Maybe we might be a real breeze, you heard me? That's all we can say.
We don't know.
I would say it's no one special place. Like it's no the building that all single value guys go to and just congregate. We all over the place.
I disagree. I think that you spend time certain places. You have to, like, what do you do for fun?
I mean, when it comes down to it, like you said, like there's no one specific place. You could literally, if he is, like a man who stays busy, chances are on his off days he may just be chilling at the crib. Honestly,
okay,
he just may be tired. I
ain't gonna lie, like you said, I'm a homebody, you hear me? So I'm probably home most of the time. I'm probably chilling with my people, playing spades, dominoes, shooting pool. I might be chilling in the movies by myself, watching the new Batman, falling asleep on the new Batman. So hey.
But that don't help us because we ain't coming to your house. So go ahead.
Right. Hey, I'm just telling you where we at. I bet you can catch all of us at the gas station. Hey, all of us gotta fill up.
No, y'all be at the gas station, but y'all don't. The only people that talk to me at the gas station is the hood dudes. The dudes who talk about something. He was like, "Oh, you live in Charleston? I'm from Atlanta, and y'all strip clubs whack." I'm like, I can't help you. Like, I don't even go. Like, people like that, because I know a lot of Christian men, and I'm not saying y'all, but I'm just saying a lot of y'all ain't as forward. Y'all ain't as gutter as these other dudes that I've been encountering. So explain to me, if y'all at home, okay, cool. But when y'all at the gas station, I mean, I know y'all get looks. I know some beautiful women at the gas station. Have y'all shot at the gas station?
Can I say
I
something?
shot my shot at the gas station when I was in the world. Now, when I was in the world,
Wait,
you was getting. That's when I shot my shot at the gas station.
Okay, Ink, go ahead, Ink.
So I used to work at a gas station for 1 month.
1 month.
And I've never seen so many men in my life. I was literally thrown off. I was like, wait, what is going on here? Because it was just so many men. And I was just like, this is the weirdest thing ever. And it wasn't weird because it's a lot of men. It was just uncommon to see so many men. Like, I worked 8 hours shift and I would see over 200 men. Like, coming
go to the gas
or get cigarette.
You gotta get gas.
You want me to live at the gas station, Mike? Like, I don't.
You want a man or not? Do you want a man or not?
Not them men, no.
I got a real job.
If a good Christian man approach you at the gas station, would you give him the time of day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If we can put this gas right here, I'm definitely giving him the number.
Now,
it sounds like y'all putting down all the guys at the gas station. How would you know that he's a good Christian man? He don't look no different than the other guys that's approaching.
I said I don't hang out at the gas station. I pump my gas and I go. I don't even go inside. I use my card at the pump. So I'm at the pump.
You gotta hang out. We see you at the pump.
But why you don't talk? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why you don't say nothing?
I mean, could it be possibly that, you know, a lot of guys when they're, let's say, doing whatever they're doing, chances are chances are they may not want to approach necessarily because of a vibe that they may be perceiving, not necessarily a vibe that you have, right? But maybe a vibe that they're perceiving. So chances are, let's say if you're at the gas pump, right, and you're just very focused on what you're doing, maybe a dude may not want to approach because he doesn't want to feel like he's impeding on whatever you're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but why y'all thinking that hard? I came here to pump my gas.
Exactly. So why would so technically, if you just came there to pump your gas, you're just
looking at you
your
though.
gas.
So I'm pumping the gas, but I'm looking at you as well. I'm like,
oh, see, you didn't say that part. You didn't say you was looking at me.
I'm sorry, I didn't say that part. But I'm looking at you. You see me?
Oh man, look, I don't get drawn by looks and smiles. Me, straight up, real tough. I don't get drawn by looks and smiles.
So what
you know how many people look and smile at you all the time? Like, oh yeah, nah. What?
Okay, wait.
You know,
When
people that say they shoot their shot by smiling and giving a look, I'm like, what? I don't even go for that. I don't do no look, smile things or none of that stuff.
I think at one point in life, like I would shoot my shot at anything. I don't care where I saw you at. You at the gas station walking down the street.
Yeah, that was it. That was me.
Going in the store, I would. But if you're looking for a Christian guy, most Christian guys are looking for something more deeper. And yeah, we attracted to the good looks, but then we also think is she more than good looks, or we just don't want to approach. We don't want to just approach her based on what we see with the flesh, because we or with our naked eyes, because we know where that's going to lead. So most of the time we have to study a girl, see how she moves.
Okay. That makes sense. So y'all want
so,
time to study her.
I'm not no random approach a girl type of person, because I'm like, I know what I used to be in my past. I don't need no random females in my life right now at the moment. So look, like you say, you want to be able to study an individual. If I ain't got time to study you, most likely I'm probably not shooting my shot at you in today's time. See, the old Mike though, all you had to do is have some tight soldier pants on or something. Bam, he at you. He on you.
Long as she was playing 99 to the 2000, and she was
from the 99 to the 2000. I'm telling you, she was working with that. Yeah. So that's all I needed to see back then. And shot was taken. I was what they would like to say, like on that boy Shine say, I hopped out the coupe in hot pursuit. Like that was it. We look, I own it. It didn't matter. It ain't look. We ain't about to talk about nothing or no value or none of that.
Yeah, you definitely have to more substance. You're looking for more substance these days.
Go ahead, Ink, and then I'm gonna wrap it up because I think I got my answer. Go ahead, Ink.
So I think that this question has multiple dimension, like different ways to, it's layered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I worked at the gas station, I mean, every shift that I worked, and I was only there for a month, but every single shift that I worked, somebody was asking for my number, asking to take me out, asking, yeah, it was actually overwhelming because I'm a girl that was a single season for 4 years, not trying to talk to nobody, then enter into a space where all of this is happening and I'm like, wait, this is too much, Lord. Like, I'm not even ready or prepared for this type of attention, especially and a woman that carries discernment. Like, it's not that I'm trying to be rude, but I just know. Does that make sense?
That
And
makes sense.
so when you carry yourself a certain way, first of all, these people are coming in for cigarettes, they're coming in for rappers,
don't want you either,
alcohol. That is not what I live.
right?
So it felt bad saying no, but it had to be because that's not what I'm attracted to.
Right.
And so so when you're asking where the guy's at, I really do believe that gas station is probably the number one place you can.
But I said high quality man. I didn't say any
now,
man.
I did like
all men go to the gas station.
Like,
we don't want any man.
Like some men of God did come to the gas station, maybe like 4 out of 100, right? Or 2 out of 100. But to me, they were scary. You know, a lot of men, a lot of men of God are scary. Like, they will sit there and stare at you and not say a word. I'm like, homeboy, speak. You know,
Speak.
I'm from New York, and men in New York are very aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I think anywhere you go, when they got a man that's probably not even into purpose, he gonna be aggressive. That's just automatic.
No. Say that. No, run that back. You can't just move past that like that. Like you
I
didn't
say
just
when
say
you
what you just said.
almost any city, any state you in, if you got a man that's out here that's not really operating in purpose, they gonna shoot their shot any and every time.
But why? Okay.
I'm not talking about men that are not in purpose. I'm talking about men that are in the church in New York City that are in purpose. See, I live in Ohio now, Columbus, Ohio. I've left New York nearly 2 years ago, and I see the drastic difference in men in the church. Because
men specific in the church,
New York and New Jersey, they will say, "Hey, I like you. Hey, I actually want to seek you out. Hey, I think you're beautiful. Hey, this is how I feel about you." And then I'm African, so traditional men will speak. They are literally on it.
So I want to know how was you able to be in a church like that and still end up being single? Because you got men that shooting their shot on the regular.
I wasn't looking. I literally, God had me hidden. So there were potentials, but I just wasn't ready and I wasn't looking. I was younger, 22, 23, 24, 25. I wasn't thinking about being married or being with a man. Of course, I was praying for my husband and I was praying for my marriage, but I didn't have a desire to act on it because it wasn't my time yet. The Lord was dealing with me and doing some work within me because I don't want to hurt nobody's son. And
we don't want to hurt the people's son. We don't want to hurt the people's son.
To do some healing, right? And so I'm just saying all of that to say that men in church are sometimes scary. Stop staring and open your mouth.
But what you just said, what you just said
for the people in the back.
Go ahead.
What you just said is very important.
Go ahead, say it.
What you said is important. When you was in church, you was hurt, you was healing. A lot of women in churches like that, and we see it. And we're not going to me personally, I'm not going to approach someone that I see going through something, somebody that I know is hurt, I know that's going through some type of healing. And that's a lot of women in church. I think most single women are pulled to church because they was broken in some type of way. And, they trying to strengthen their relationship with God. And we can see that. Like, it's not,
I respect that. I respect that.
Like AB saying, look, you could go in a single Christian group and you're going to see so many hurt, scorned women in this group. They like taking over the majority of the group.
Okay. Okay, because I want to wrap this question up because I want to get to the next question. But the thing about it
It's
is,
gonna be a long night.
a lot of men in the church are not vocal. Number one. Number two, my friends, we ain't still trying to heal. We ain't still trying to figure out life, and we still single. We be in the church with these men who are so far up their apostles behind, or they are so focused on Jesus. Like, sir, come on, come down back to earth. You so high that you are no earthly good anymore. Like, yo, be natural, be normal, and open your mouth. But number three, what I did like that the men said that answered my question is you want to survey the land first. I got that. So I can understand that because I'm like, well, I know I'm cute. And I know I'm powerful. Okay, and I know I pray. So why you ain't talk like I don't know you, but I want to get to know you because you're handsome. But what I hear you telling me is a lot of men don't want to do random shoots. They don't want to do random shots. They
Not
want
a lot of men. Not a lot.
because I let y'all talk now. I let you talk. Now, what I hear you telling me is a lot of men, many men, most men, some men, you men. Okay. Y'all want to survey first. You want to spy the land first before making that shot. And I respect that because you want to see me in my element. You may want to see me for a little while. So one thing that I like to do is if you holler at me, let me give you my social media so you can just see a little bit more of me. Okay? Because I want you to know what you're getting into.
Sis, can I just touch on that a little bit? Because we just enter a time in society where we're not in church as much anymore, right? I mean, we're still getting back to it, but media worlds where everything is virtual, right? And so how do we transfer this way of approach or shooting your shot to the social media world, right?
That's the new question.
Facebook. You said that's the next question?
That's the next question. Go ahead, ask the question. So what's the question? Oh, wait. Are all hearts and minds clear?
I still got a question for the ladies. I'm still waiting on it.
Okay, well, hold on. Hold on. Are all hearts and minds cleared with why men? Where y'all be at and why y'all not doing random shots? Are we clear on that part?
Yep.
We're
good.
Random shots too, though, because you don't want to just shoot your shot and then
I get that. So I respect that. I respect it. I like it. Survey me, sir. Look at me. Watch me. Come on. Look, see what I got going on. Because I want you to be prepared for what you're coming over here for. I don't want you to be shocked. Okay, I don't want you to be shocked. Like, oh, you don't have sex? Oh, nah, player. Like, oh, you pray for real? Oh, yes. Oh, so I don't want you to be shocked. I need you to see that I have this lifestyle so you can feel more comfortable in your approach. Because I want you to know the answer before you approach me. Please know if you think my answer gonna be no, please don't come over here. Don't waste your time.
Forget it. I was gonna say something. Forget
it. Can you say that one more time? Can you say that one more time?
Say it again. Come back. Yeah, rewind it.
I want if you know the answer gonna be no, don't do it.
How they know the answer gonna be no?
Because you just said you'd rather survey me rather than shoot your shot. You said
that doesn't mean that it's automatically.
So how the answer gonna be no?
That just means that we want to survey to make sure that what we are seeing is
but a lot of men,
and
I'm not talking about men in purpose, but a lot of men who are just in the world. You know, I ain't gonna talk to you. You know I'm not. You know I'm not gonna talk to you. If you in your mind are saying I'm not willing to give up sex, and you've been watching me talk about how I've been abstinent every year, why you want to talk to me? What do you think? Are you think you're gonna change my mind?
But if I want to know if it's true, because some of them be lying.
I mean, probably that too. But I'm just saying, like for people who y'all know, people be approaching you and they be like, they like the idea of you, and then they get to know you. I'm talking about them kind of people.
Oh yes, I know straight up. I know 100%.
I think we on the same page, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Michael, you want to ask a question for the women? Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, you know,
personally,
I guess this already part of one of the questions anyway. So you know, I'm trying to find out if the women not scary.
Hold on, Michael.
Mike, AB got a.
I want to say one thing, then we can go to the next question.
AB got a comment.
Yeah, like personally, I can't believe that two attractive single women ain't getting shot at. I don't care where you at. I'm wondering, if you're getting shot at, but you just don't like the people that's shooting at you.
That's pretty much the answer right there. That's
So
the answer.
stop saying
So
that
what
guys
you
ain't
doing
shooting.
up here?
Guys are shooting. You
Okay,
just
so
don't like the ones
you
that's
gotta-
shooting.
Maybe you ask me to elaborate because I'll elaborate for you. There are guys that shoot their shot, but you be like, I'm not interested. So I'm not talking about them. So a question we gonna ask me
Who you talking about?
She's not talking
but
about
honestly, if I'm being honest, a lot of churchmen don't shoot their shot. They don't.
So I'm saying though, okay, so you got men that you're not really interested in shooting their shot, but then again, y'all see men y'all interested in. Do y'all shoot y'all shot, or y'all
So we'll
just
get to
scared?
that in a second because we ain't there yet. We are at the part where, because honestly, like, guys who shoot their shot, I'd be like, I'm not interested. Not only because they're not attractive, but you're not living the same way I'm living. I don't want that. I have my quote unquote list, but it's not the list that a lot of women have. I have a list that is it's a real list of like standards and values and things that I need for me personally. So it's not, oh, he got to be 6 foot. Nah, it's like that's on the list, but it's not like number one on the list. You feel me?
Preference, but not,
it's a preference.
Yeah.
But the value is you got to have a relationship with God, and a lot of them do not. That's what I'm talking about.
We gotta start praying, Lord. May you bring people to have a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Hey, and that's the thing, hey, that's another thing. Women got to think about what they say sometimes too. We be like, oh, I don't want to deal with no man that's under 6 feet. So guess what? This good man that's under that, he not shooting his shot at you. You know what? I can't really see myself dating a pastor or whatever. You see this man preach and everything and all this other stuff. You see this man preaching, doing all this stuff. You telling him that you can't see yourself dating a pastor. You think he about to shoot a shot at you?
Well, I don't say stuff like that on social media, so I don't know why the pastor or the man under 6 feet ain't shoot the shot. Yeah, I don't know, because I didn't say that, but I feel you though. I mean, that makes sense for why men aren't. Like if you say I don't like no fat man, the fat man ain't gonna shoot a shot unless he really want to see if you like the fat man. I mean, I don't know.
He trying to change your mind.
Better eat this cheesecake.
Cheesecake anime. All right, Mike, ask your questions for the women.
Okay, so basically we coming back. Do women shoot their shot? Are women afraid to shoot their shot? Are women afraid of the rejection of shooting their shot?
Hey, go ahead.
Me? Wow, that's okay. So most women, I think, millennials specifically. I think millennial women are open to shooting their shot, but millennial women are not verbal about it. I think the smirk, the the gestures, the eyes, all that stuff, just those initial like connections with a man will kind of like give him the hint like, hey, I actually want you to, like just I guess a welcoming body language, something like that, for them to get the hint like I'm interested. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we get this stuff wrong, just to let you know. Go ahead, continue.
Because y'all are real oblivious. I'd be like,
we are. We don't speak woman. We don't speak woman.
Jesus.
So
okay.
I think a big part of it. I think a big part of it is the fact that y'all rely on.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. We gotta do something to let us know who's talking at times so that we don't overtalk each other.
I'll raise my hand.
Okay, well we're gonna raise our hand, but ink isn't done, and then after that, Justin, you can go. And I got a reason why, but go ahead, finish ink.
I feel like it's a man. I feel like the initial response.
It's a man's world. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a man's job to show interest, and to really take that initial response of, "Hey, no, you look good," or like, "There's something about you. I've been watching you. I've been, studying you. I actually want to talk to you." Like, I feel like now when we talk about hood niggas, do y'all say niggas? Because I say that word, but when we talk,
might as well.
When we talk about hood niggas, we talk about godly men, right? I feel like,
can a godly man be a nigga? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had a thought. Go ahead. It just kind of came to my head. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Whatever you want it to be, baby girl.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is, when we talk about the two different lifestyle, right? You'll see a woman going towards the world to find a man because he's pushing. He's like, he's consistent. He's going at it. He's like, nah, I'm not letting you go. Like, I'm still like, women like that. We like the pursue. We like the consistency. We like the, oh, you think I'm like, we like that. You know what I'm saying? And when we don't see that from churchy men, it's like, nah, like, you're just not giving. You know what I'm saying? So I guess what I'm saying, again, coming from New York, the culture out there, they're very intense, very consistent, very on it. So for me, it's hard to know if a man like me if he doesn't say it. It's hard to know if a man's interested if he doesn't say it. I need to
that's
know
what the shooting your shot thing is, though.
Right? Because women fall in love with what they hear. Men fall in love with what they see. So if I'm not hearing it, I don't believe it. And then if your actions don't align,
on Facebook.
Right. And so I guess what I'm saying is, I think there's a subtle way for a woman to show that she's interested. But sis, if you come in full force, he might just be like, well, hold up. Like, I think masculine men, alpha men, they feel weird when a woman is coming like, yeah, I like you, I want to talk. No. Like, a lot of my male friends, they told me, like, when a woman come on that type of timing, like I like you, I want to talk to you, they're not attracted to that woman. That's what I could be wrong.
I'm like this. Guess what? If Rihanna walked up to some man,
well, Mike, you
like,
out of turn, Mike, because Justin was next. Now I want to keep. Come on now, come on, hold on.
Go ahead, run with it, Justin.
Yeah, because I mean, here's the thing, right? I think when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to when you paint the narrative of the masculine man, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start to make things very, very exclusive. And the thing about it is, when it comes to men, certain men do like the idea of like a woman saying, you know, I like you, because not only does it affirm something for that man, but it gives him kind of like that green light to be like, okay, hey, she likes me. I know for a fact I can really pursue this person.
Correct?
Huh?
You're talking about exclusive, correct?
I'm talking about just in general, man. What I was saying,
you
say again?
Okay, just for clarity, are you saying that the initial conversation with a woman, she's saying I like you to a man?
No, I'm not saying the initial conversation, but earlier we were talking about, you know, the looks, right, and certain things like that. And I'm saying the fact that the looks are cool and everything like that, but if we're just spending all this time looking at each other and all that stuff, it's not really giving me the clarification that I would need to really, you know what I'm saying, to really to have that green light to go ahead with it. Am I making sense?
Let me go.
Go ahead.
So this same woman that was at the gas station, that saying men only look, she said she come back and she look and give him a gesture and don't say nothing. She doing the same thing that she said these men are doing. Hold on, let me finish. Hold on, let me finish. She's doing the same thing that she said these men doing. And the point is, she's a woman declaring what a masculine or alpha man is, and what a man wants, and what a man desires, and what a man wants to get from a woman.
Hold on, Hank. Let me go. So, does a lion wait for the gazelle to be like, "Come eat me," before it starts running to it?
No, the woman lion kills.
No, hold on, because what I'm hearing you say is, I have to pretty much be like, I like you before you hold on. Before you do something, because if I've been hearing correctly,
time out right now. You got to answer my question.
I'm about to answer the question because this is my turn.
Okay, go ahead.
My thing is this: if a man was created to pursue,
Give me scripture.
It may not. I know the scripture, but I know that how a man was created.
What he was created to do?
He was created to pursue your hunters. You're hunters by nature. And okay, don't go to the Bible.
What was I? Wait, we have a story of Jacob and Esau. Was both of them hunters? I don't think both of them.
He was a gatherer, but how did he know the fruit was ready?
I hate when people take stuff out of context with scripture and say men
was created to pursue.
Men were born hunters and stuff.
I didn't say that's what the Bible said. I did not say that's what the Bible said.
Well, I'm saying what they were created to do.
Men are pursuers by nature. You are a hunter
that's
by
not
nature.
That's not necessarily true.
So
why are we just creating stuff and making stuff up?
Here's
psychologically speaking.
Okay.
Let me say something. I think it all depends on the type of guy that you looking at. Like they're all hunters. There's some guys that are hunters. I wouldn't say he was born a hunter, but he learned to be a hunter. But then there's some guys that are passive. Then there's some guys that need that extra validation, like those pick-me signs. So it really depends on the type of guy that you're interested in. It depends on the type of. All guys aren't the same. If you would give eyes to a guy that's a hunter, believe me, you wouldn't have to give him eyes too long if he found you attractive, because he's going to come at you. But if you're giving eyes at a guy that's passive, you're gonna find yourself giving eyes or maybe approaching them. All dudes are different. Like hunting we're born that way. We're trained that way, and all guys aren't trained the same. Some of us grew up chasing women and getting pushed to go talk to a girl, and some guys was home playing video games, not really socializing. It is not a natural thing.
Okay, so let me answer Mike's question. I'm gonna answer Mike's question about women, but someone said not all men are alphas, which is okay. We had a lot of comments, but we was going in. But all men should strive to be masculine. Sometimes a woman approaching and making her interest known to a man may not be a complete turnoff to a specific man, and she's right. So let me get my point out. But I think, because I'm really big on fathers. A lot of men, did Justin just answer yes or no? Justin, did you have your dad in your life?
Of course.
Yeah. AB, did you have your dad in your life?
Yes.
Mako, did you have your dad in your life? So you all had men in your life to teach you. Did your fathers pursue? Did they hunt? Huh?
They pursued. He pursued.
My dad never hunt. I don't think. Let me see. Did he go fishing?
He didn't hunt, but he pursued.
Were they providers? But did they go out and take initiative, or was your mama the one that ran the house? I'm trying to get a clear picture of what's happening. Was mom?
They didn't run the house together.
No,
they didn't run the house together. They ran it apart.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer the question because y'all got a lot of. I was trying
My dad, my mom was in my life.
Where you getting at?
So I was getting at a lot of times we don't have fathers in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So your father would have taught you, because the men that I knew and grew up with, their fathers were pursuers. I don't know no man that's like not a pursuer. That's news to me. I know what psychology says and how men are created. Like you would rather. If we went hunting, would you rather me kill the animal and put it on your front door, or would you rather go get it yourself?
I'd rather go buy it from the store.
Okay, I'm done. Okay.
Can I
won't disagree that.
Answer the question.
I think socially, most men are groomed to be hunters, but all men aren't. So that's why I say it's not nature. It's not innate.
Not for me.
They're not for me. So
well, that's cool.
I wanted to answer the question. I'm sorry. Let me just answer Mike's question. So I grew up. I was taught, let that man, don't let him believe that you're too available.
Go ahead.
I was taught, let him pretty much, I like you, but you gotta like me more than I like you. These are the things that I was taught, maybe to protect myself or whatever the case may be. So when we came to this culture of shoot your shot, I was like, no, I wasn't taught shoot your shot. I was taught a man was but I still chased men because I wanted love. I was pursuing because I was looking for something out of these men that I didn't get from my daddy, or that I didn't get from the men in my life. So when you come to me with this new perspective of shoot my shot, it makes me, at this point, I feel thirsty. I feel desperate. I feel like, why didn't you talk to me? And then I believe that it creates this belief, like, and I'm telling you, like, in my mind, I know that this may not be true, but my body says this is true. Like, if I shoot my shot, he is not going to pursue me the way that I want him. He's not going to call me the way that I want him, because I'm the one that made the first shot. But what I do believe we should do is, in basketball, the tip off. Now, I will let you know I'm interested with a look. Even if you ask me, am I interested? I will tell you yes or no. From that point, he has to take over. I no longer want to be the man in my relationships. I no longer want to be the masculine party in my. I want to be a woman. I want to be feminine. And it may be something that God needs to break in me. But when I shot my shot, I realized to myself, this is why I don't do it. This is exactly why I don't shoot my shot, because one, he didn't respond the way that I wanted him to. It wasn't that I was afraid of rejection, because when I shot it, I wasn't scared that he was going to say no. But what happened was, that wasn't supposed to go down like that. And this is why I don't do it. So there's a lot that goes on in the mind, in the heart of a woman that's shooting a shot. Like, it's supposed to be, in my mind, it was supposed to be your job.
So you said as a woman's body.
Something wrong with your sound. Ain't something wrong with your sound.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to add on just a little briefly, right? When you said something about your body, what that reminded me of is like a woman, right? The way our body is created, even in the area of sexual intimacy. And then when you look at the way that a man's body is created, right? The woman is the receiver. The man is the giver, right? And so for me, I'm looking at God's mind in the way he created humans, the way he created woman, the way he created man. As a woman, I'm sorry, like, I'm not going to say, hey, I like you when I first meet you. That's a masculine trait. That's not a feminine trait. I'm gonna be honest. For me, I think yes, you can affirm that you like the person and confirm that you like the person, but to verbalize it plain out like that, I don't know. I'm just like, as a woman, my body, my mind is created to receive. And so yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
Okay, so
that's literally the main. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So basically, from what I heard, like, you gotta pretend not to be available. Don't like the person as much. It sounds like women was raised to play games.
I think we were raised
Instead
to
of being
protect ourselves.
straightforward
No,
about
I wouldn't say games.
Say something.
I'm saying that sounds like games to me.
to protect
This is the thing: when a man pursues and he's not getting a man pursue, he giving you interest. You're not giving him this mutual interest back. Now you done set off the whole dynamic. So now this man had put all his energy into pursuing, showing interest. Now all of a sudden, you've been playing hard to get. I've been acting like I'm not available and stuff. So now you're showing interest. Now this man he's not even interested in you anymore because he wasn't receiving his interest back. Now you are interested in him and he's no longer interested in you because people too caught up in playing the game.
All right. So with that being said, I should have explained what I was saying better, because when I talked about the woman giving some sort of inclination that she liked the guy, I wasn't talking about her saying just off the bat that I like you like that verbally. What I was speaking about was giving, as Ink said, giving the confirmation, if you will, later down the line. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's definitely on the guy to pursue. You know what I'm saying? I understand that part. I think everybody agrees on that. But the issue is, I think when we're talking about we're talking about a equal showing of interest, right? We're talking about proper communication of emotions here.
Exactly.
And if one person is feeling like they're putting all this energy, as Mike said, if one person is feeling like they're putting all this emotion and all this energy in this other person, and this person is only just receiving but not reciprocating, it's going to be lopsided off the bat. So we have to come to a place where we're understanding, like, okay, whether it be through verbal affirmation, whether it be through actions, whatever it is, there has to be a certain level of reciprocation on both parties. So that way one person doesn't feel like they're just putting energy in and putting time in. We're both getting something out of the situation. That's what I'm trying to say.
And
Yeah, I'm
I
saying don't
agree.
play games because
The other
I'm
day,
telling you.
I put up a post, and it said that men are conditioned and groomed to pursue, but we'll still play with the woman we can get. So we'll pursue the woman that we want, but we'll still play with the woman we can get. And what you was explaining is speaks exactly to that. Now, I'm not saying all men are like that, but for the most part, a lot of guys will still entertain a woman's pursuit, even if he don't like her, even if he doesn't really want her, because that's just, we've been groomed to have a woman by our side or a woman in our life. So it's very rare that you're gonna see a guy reject a woman if she's pursuing him, showing interest, even if he doesn't like her. And I think that's the fear of a lot of ladies,
Can you say that
getting
one more
hurt.
time? I'm sorry. I got a hear in my eye, y'all, and it is
that
driving me to pieces.
Yeah.
Can you repeat just that last part?
Yeah, I think I was speaking to the fear of women pursuing. When I started off, I said I put a post up that said, when men are conditioned and groomed to pursue the woman that he wants, but he'll still play with the woman that he can get. And what you was talking about earlier, when you pursued that guy, you showed you interest, or you showed your interest, but later on to see he wasn't as serious as you wanted him to be, that speaks to that a little bit. Like, and I'm just being honest. Well, at least the way that me and the guys in my environment was raised and groomed was to get all the women that you can get, even if you're not fully interested in her. So I think that speaks to a lot of the fear that women have to pursuing men and shooting their shot because they're afraid to get hurt or afraid to get played. Because it happens.
Right.
Now, I'm not telling women to not shoot their shot or to shoot their shot, but I always caution them that there may be consequences. You might be shooting your shot at somebody that just want to play ball and not be serious.
Right.
I think they could go either way. Somebody shoot their shot at you, they could play games. That's what you got to be smart. You got to have discernment. You got to understand, what you're getting from this person, what you're receiving for this person, what their words and how their actions matching up. Whether you done shot your shot or whether they shot their shot, we got to be focused on that. Like I didn't approach women, it didn't work out, and women that approached me, it didn't work out. Some things don't work out either way it go. Like I didn't have a woman that came to me. She not like, oh, I like you or none of that. She just some random, just some endless look. Hey, I want to get your opinion. I really want to get your opinion on this video. Boom. From there, we just conversating, bam, bam, flowing. Now she initiated, but guess what? I carried through with that thing, and we kept going. We showed each other mutual interest,
So
which kept that thing flowing and moving like it needed to, because none of us was playing games. None of us was to the point that I need to act like this, I need to act like that. Nah, guess what? If my phone rang and I ain't doing nothing, I'm answering it because boom, look, I feel like talking to you. I want to talk to you. I'm enjoying this conversation that we having. That's how I treated her. That's how she treated me. And that's how things work and flow. See, when we get to that point when we got to constantly be running, I got to call this person 3-4 times because they playing these games, person going to eventually get tired of that. And so that's what I'm saying with that notion of you gotta feel like make them think that you're not available. They gotta like you more than you like them. I'm like, that's a lot of stuff people told us just out of stuff they created and they made up, that they figured this how it should go. When that's not how things go. That's not even lining up with biblical facts or anything. It's just how people emotions that they had, feelings they had, trying to protect their heart, like this woman saying on the screen.
Well, I'm gonna go after Ink. Go ahead, Ink.
So I like what you said. Two things. The first thing you stated was she approached you and you took it and you ran with it. That's key. Right? That's key because she approached, meaning like, hey, can you help me with this? Or something in common, something that's mutual, something like y'all both like, or, you know, where she finds value in you to add to what she wanted to hear, like opinion. What do you think about this? Right? Some way, somehow, that caught your attention. You took it and you ran. That is equivalent to the smirk, the looks, the gestures, and the verbiage. So me, I'm the type of person to be like, oh, I like your watch, or I like your car, or something like that, right? Or what do you think about this, right? That is still equivalent. The body language and the gestures is still equivalent to me asking a question. That's what I want to say. And then second thing was, I don't think it's playing games to not put your egg in one basket. I think that's wisdom because the Bible says to guard your heart. So the technique that us women use to guard our heart is, hold up, I see that I'm catching feelings too quick, but I ain't gonna, because I'm an emotional person, right? Women are emotional. So I think when the woman of old was telling Tiara, like, don't be too available, in modern language is guard your heart, girl, because you don't know if that man is talking to someone else and you want to be careful.
Right. So I want to
go ahead.
I just want, so she said it's not playing games, and I just wanted to counter that. So I'm not saying that I still believe that same way now, but that is how I was raised. That's how I was taught. And it was, my mom wasn't like, girl, do that to play games. She was like, nah, do that to protect yourself. Because if you got yourself out here too available to these men, you can get hurt. My mom was trying to protect me. Was it the best? Probably not. But it did protect me a lot of times, because for them same men that my mama told me, daughter, slow down a little bit. Don't let them think that you're available. Because at the moment I was doing something, but I would stop everything I'm doing to run to my phone to talk to him. Those were the same when, no, I hurt him. But the point is, they hurt me. Okay? They did hurt me. But, you know, like, now that I'm 30, I don't have time to play games. But if I'm doing something, no Mike, no AB, and no Justin, I'm not going to drop everything I'm doing to run to your call or to run to your text. I'm just not doing it, because what I was doing was just leaving my entire life for you. Another thing is, if you're serious, if I talk to you and we're on the same page, and you're like, listen, I want a wife. I'm ready to start my life. These are my values. I'll answer the phone. I'll sit on the phone all night with you. But if I don't know you quite yet, no, I'm not dropping my life. I don't trust you enough to give you over that much access. So we have to be progressive, because I also had a trait chasing men, but I also wanted them. I fell in love quick. Like quick. You tell me the first day, I am head over heels for what you're telling me. And I did not give myself enough time to examine you. I did not give myself enough time to see if what you're talking about holds any weight. And I want to like relate it to, I do real estate too. So I'm a mortgage broker, and I issue a pre-approved people to go buy their house. I was issuing the approval before I verified all their information. Like before I had a chance to verify your documents, to verify your W-2s, to verify your pay stubs, I was already giving you that pre-approval without verifying the information. So with that being said, that's why I stopped. So I would love, I'm not going to lie, I would love to shoot my shot to some serious men. I mean, I just did it the other day and it didn't come out, and I appreciate the group, you guys who was just like, he wasn't interested. But where do you get off? And I heard this in a video where you feel like you're God's gift to the world, that you don't have the audacity to say anything back. I think that's rude. I think that is very, very, very rude, because I'm the kind of person that would tell you, I'm not interested, because I don't want you on my line lingering. Because what we do as women and men is we like, you know what? Thank you, Holy Spirit. We like the thrill of somebody chasing us and somebody wanting us so much and we're not responding back to them. We like looking like we got more going on than what it really is. We like, I'm not like that. I don't want you, because he keep calling me. He keep texting me. Well, the man think you're still interested. If you ain't saying nothing and you still sending me emojis back and you still saying hi, he thinks you're still interested. So don't come at me about Tiara. He just won't stop blowing up my line. You like that. You like that. You like him calling you. You like him calling you. You like him chasing you. And
You like getting chased. Cat and mouse.
I think that as believers, we shouldn't be dating like the world. Be upfront with people. You got down your page that you're ready to date, and then I shoot my shot, and now you quiet. What had happened was I don't want to hear none of that. So that's my spiel.
Ooh,
Yeah. And that's the
that's a
thing. I'm
sermon
saying,
right there.
I think if you're shooting your shot, that's something you're gonna go through. Men shoot their shot, they might get disrespected, they might
But
get called out their name.
don't allow the rejection of the shooting the shot to keep you from shooting
Nah,
again.
that I'm saying that never stops us
But a
from shooting
lot
our
of
shot.
times that happens. I'm just saying that for any man
Yeah,
that's listening, and
for
even
any
you men
man
that
that's
are here right
listening.
now. Don't women, if you feel like you want to shoot your shot, then go ahead and do that. But do not allow your shot shooting to now keep you from shooting again because you're gonna miss it. They
Yeah,
just wasn't the one.
and that's the point. You gonna miss shots. Just like you say in a real basketball game, if you miss a shot,
You come
somebody
back and you
foul you,
get.
whatever, you know what, you're gonna shoot again.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But guess what? That's what's gonna happen when you're out there shooting your shot. You might get disrespected, you might get somebody that's polite, you might get somebody that's ignore you, but that's all part of the game. That's all part of the life that of shooting your shot. That's all part of the dating life. People gonna play with your feelings, they're gonna play with your emotions. Some people gonna be more into you than you are into them. You're gonna be more into this person than they are into you. And that's part of the whole dating life. That's like no matter who shoot what shot, no matter who approach who first, this is all part of that life that guess what? Sometimes we just not gonna blend together. We sometimes, look, I'm gonna stop liking you before you stop liking me. You gonna stop liking me before I stop liking you. That's all part of the journey. And I'm like, look, that's what it is. But regardless of what we do, we always gotta get back up.
Yeah.
And I just want to add this last part. So I was watching something from Union Church, and the
That was so
pastor,
good. You gotta watch it. That thing was so lit. I'm sorry.
and he said, the pastor, he said, what was it? He was like, it's not that you're making a mistake when you're dating the wrong person or trying to vet a potential spouse. He was like because a lot of times when people are like looking for the one, it's like so many options and they're like trying to figure it out. He was like it's not where you're looking, it's what you're looking for. What you're looking for is valuable, and so something that's valuable to find is hard to find, so you
Yeah.
may go through 10 people to finally find what you're looking for. And so that gave me encouragement. I was like, wow, that's good.
It did.
That's
It
good. I
did.
just share that whoever that was for.
All right.
What we
All
had on
hearts
this
and minds
question list?
clear.
Yeah, what we had on this question list.
All right. So that was 2 questions. The next question is
1 hour. Oh,
let's do has dating someone become so overwhelming or
yeah.
overcomplicated to the point that most would rather stay single? So this is Michael's question. Michael, you had a testimony or something that went along with this question?
Wow, we have a
I'm just
testimony.
asking. I'm just
I'm
asking.
gonna start this thing anyway. But so basically, I think at one point, um, it's like I've been single so long, and I'm just I'm in a different stage in my life or whatever. Back, like I say, back in I used to be in the streets, I'm shooting everything. Boom, look, I had my fair share of women or whatever. So then, I probably got to the point where I've been single for a while. It's cool, it's chilling. I'm like, man, it's sweet. I probably part of my last relationship. I'm like, man, I ain't even gonna get off from work. Like, love, do I gotta go home? Like, man, y'all ain't got no extra hours to work. So then you mess around, you live in this single life, and I'm single, no kids. Boom, you get home, man, peace and quiet. You gotta hear nobody question you about this or that. So it's like, man, this is a peaceful time. It's a peaceful season. Like, oh man, this is sweet right here. You ain't got the confusion, you ain't got the chaos, you ain't got none of that stuff. So it's like, man, it's good. So I think sometimes even in the midst of that, we get comfortable in the singleness because of the peace. Because I'm not no type of person that like they got these people that always got to be in a relationship. They got to have somebody to talk to. They got to have this. Or they get lonely all these many times. Like, man, look, I can be home. I'll be good. I'm straight. I'm chilling. So I'm like, and then in the midst of seeing all these people with all these different rules and this and that, that'll probably get you, throw you off or whatever. But I think I had ran across somebody And basically, we was conversating, talking or whatever, kicking it or whatever. And then this person made me want to date again, even though they wasn't like the person for me, but like spending that time with them and all that stuff like that made me want to date again. So it made me be more into the sense of letting that comfort of singleness kind of go, and try myself with this person, that person, or whatever, and just get more into it than I was before, because it made me miss that communication, that companionship, and all that stuff like that. Even though I still love the peace, I love the peace. I
But
love the
that's just,
peace.
but that
Yeah.
piece shouldn't leave because you start dating. That's your
Oh,
that.
look. I ain't gonna lie, she did make the peace go away, but she
Oh
did still make
Lord,
me. She did make me still
it
miss
ain't
that
supposed to go away.
companionship, but she did. I'm saying that's why we had to split up. I'm like, she made the peace go away, but hey, at the same time, she still made me miss um some of that companionship. It just was, yeah. So I think that some people are getting frustrated, and it is just like you said. You shot your shot, whatever, blah blah blah, and this person totally ignored you. Like this stuff that'll be like, bruh, just say you ain't interested or whatever. So I think all those different things, whether it be man or woman, it makes the dating scene, I guess, become overwhelming or complicated and stuff like that for people.
I like it. It is overcomplicated. So we have a comment at the bottom of the page from Kendra. She said, "Not at all. Had some very frustrating situations, but I still want a relationship and marriage." And I feel the same way. Like I'm not like fouled out, because we
Oh yeah,
using
I feel
basketball
all of
references. I'm
that.
not I'm not fouled out at this point. Yeah, I done been fouled. I done been knocked down a couple of times, but I still want it. But I do believe that dating is overcomplicated. I think there's too many rules. There's too many standards. It's just way too much,
Facts.
and that's why I think the conversation needs to be had. Not that we are the majority, or not that we have all the answers, but I think that there needs to be a bridging of the gap, because clearly men and women are misreading each other. We are missing the signs, because it has been said for a long time that men are just oblivious, and it's been said that women, we just waiting for a man to just chase us, or we're gold diggers, and that's not the case. So the conversation needs to be had, because I still want to be married, but a lot of, as we've said before, a lot isn't happening. A lot isn't happening, and it's sad that it's not happening in the church.
Yeah.
Facts.
For me,
I think the
I
church.
never like
Go
I
ahead. Yeah.
never give up on like dating, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not that type of person that does like that random dating or like speed dating. Got looking dating to this one
Yeah,
week, and then the next week I'm going out with this one, and the week after
yeah.
I'm going. I just don't do that. I'm very intentional and purposeful with the people I approach and talk to and get in relationships with. But
Mm-hmm.
when if those relationships end, I might need some time for me to heal, from some time for me to get over that person, or some time for me just to really focus on my purpose, focus on my goals before I
Mm-hmm.
jump back out there again. But I never get like tired of relationships. I never get like that overwhelmed of dating someone that I give up on the entire thing, the
Right.
entire institution of relationships. But I also understand, people are people. So if something goes wrong, I'm not always that surprised. I don't know if it's just me, but I almost expect anything to happen. Until I'm married, I'm not surprised if a relationship ends or if a dating situation ends. So,
Mm-hmm.
like Mike was saying, that is a part of dating. You meet people, you try to see if y'all compatible. It may
Mm-hmm.
not work. Y'all go your separate ways, and that's that. So, you know, and I try not to hurt nobody when we go our separate ways. I try not to leave somebody worse off than when I met them when we go our separate ways.
That's
So
mature.
my conscience is clear, and I take the time I need, then I'll go to the next one.
I like it. Anybody else?
Oh, you know what? I want to say one more thing. I think another thing that makes the dating thing overwhelming is that, man, people tend to get in relationships, and then when they get out of them, they can't stand the sight of the person that they was dating or in a relationship with. I'm like, man, look, I didn't dealt with multiple women or whatever, we didn't have a relationship. We could still be cool. We could still chat it up, run it or whatever. I'm like, I don't understand how so many people get into so many relationships when they come to the point of hating each other guts. Like, how did y'all get into this relationship? How did y'all even stay with each other to hate each other guts like this? I'm like,
Do you want to
how people
Because
understand
we
hate
something?
their
stay
ex so
way
much.
too
You
long
say,
in
yeah.
relationships.
I mean, the thing about it is, it's like when you're in relationships like that, right? The
Mm-hmm.
thing that gets mad frustrating is the fact that when you see your significant other either doing something that's messed up or whatever have you, and you're trying to put the energy into helping that person, you know what I'm saying, and trying to let that person see a different way of doing things, right? And I'm speaking from experience. It can get frustrating when you're going through the same motions and the same hurdles a bunch of different times, and it's like, yo, why aren't you getting it yet? You know what I'm saying? And then it brings forth, and I'll be honest, sometimes it brings situations to a point where now you may be the affected party, but now you're exuding toxic situations on top of the toxic situation that you've already been dealing with. So it literally just breeds a situation that's just it leads to the end of the relationship in a way that honestly you guys don't want to talk no more. You don't want to see that person, because every time when you see that person, it triggers that memory in your brain that literally is just like, this is what this reminds me of. I want nothing to do with it, because every time I see this, I think of this and it makes me angry. You know what I'm
Right. So
saying?
they need to heal, and there
That's how
needs
I
to
hear
be.
it, definitely.
You definitely healing, but it doesn't change the fact that,
Well, let
you
me
know
get.
what I'm saying?
I was going to say, so you need healing, but like it's normal for you if a situation, if y'all break up and it's hurtful, I don't want to see your face right now. You may bring up
Exactly.
those memories, like you have to process all of those feelings, but we try to ignore them, act like they didn't happen. But clearly, a lot of relationships, because we were immature in our relationships, we don't know how to communicate. So you held all of that in, and now you're resentful. That's not normal. Like you're now resentful and you're now angry with the person because of things that you probably didn't say. And then you really mad when he get with the next chick and do everything with her that you wanted him to do with you. You're resentful, which comes from unforgiveness. So clearly you left this relationship in a bad space.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. And then we allow, why is it overwhelming now? It's overwhelming because we're taking a lot of baggage and we're just dragging a whole lot into the next relationship. And now I expect you to unpack it with me as if it was your responsibility. He didn't do it. Or we're trying to think that in the next relationship, I will feel better. We come with a lot of misconceptions as well. And we're not coming into our next relationship pure. We're coming in contaminated. You're coming in distorted. You're coming in mad at your daddy, or you coming in mad at your last man. Well, if you still mad at this is for anybody that's listening. If you still mad at your daddy and you still mad at your ex, you don't need to date nobody. Go sit down. Go have a seat. Go get all of that out. Go purify that, because if you don't purify that, you will be overwhelming. If you don't purify that, you're going to make the relationship complicated, and you're pretty much going to be in a codependent relationship, and you're going to call it love, but you're really bounded by the trauma. Like, you need to be careful. You need to be careful, because now you think that he's supposed to fill you and complete you, and then when he doesn't do that, now you're still mad. You're just like the last man. Nah, sis, you're the problem. You're pretty much the problem here.
You said my ex that cheated on me,
In order
and
to
I'm
be in a
still
healthy
good.
relationship, you got to be a healthy individual.
Absolutely, period.
People come with all types of trauma, like I said, all types of attachment issues, abandonment issues, and they jump into relationships with others, and they bleed on other people.
Right. And then
So
you bleed on other people, and you're like, you're bleeding. Nah, you're bleeding on them, and they just look bloody. But you're the one that's bleeding.
Yeah. So
You heard me?
A whole lot of
when that relationship ends, there's no surprise that it's a lot of turmoil and conflict and anger.
Right. It was
You know,
already like that
everybody's
before you
not
even
healthy.
got into it. This was already a problem. It was already an issue.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like people bringing it, they be hurt, they be wounded, and people don't take that time to heal. Some people that's the difference. Like you got a cut or you got a wound. Which one?
Come on, that's
One of them
then.
is healed. Now we all got wounds, but some people still walking around cut. And like you said, they bleeding on everybody they approach. Anything that look familiar to what my ex did, boom, there I go. I'm going off. I'm clicking like And then you the person like out of the blue, like, man, hold up, what happened? What I did? But this looked familiar to what happened in my past relationship. This looked familiar to what he did. This looked familiar to what she did.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what's coming next. Or you assume you know what's coming next.
It's usually assumption,
exactly.
right?
You assume you know what's coming next. And now some people, I even dealt with my ex that they feel like I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me.
That's so toxic. And you want to marry somebody? You want to date somebody? You're not ready. If you got all of these things in you, you're not ready to date. And you're in the way. You probably holding my husband hostage, and I need you to move. I need you to really get out of the way. Please move.
Back up.
Usually those are the people that think that dating and relationship is going to fill those voids.
Absolutely.
So they're going to get into relationships. You know, they're going to try to find somebody to bring them happiness or to heal them or make them forget about a past relationship or a bad relationship they had with their parents. But you know that never works. You can't use somebody as a band-aid.
And I got a question.
But I also add to that. I think a lot of people like that also look at marriage itself
as the one
and they just focus on no. It's just like they focus on the destination of marriage, but they don't focus on the road that gets to that place of marriage.
They focus on the wedding.
They're always
on the wedding, not the marriage.
They're focused on the wedding, right? But they're not focusing on like the road and going through all those kind of different hurdles and stuff like that gets you there. Because I think when it comes to it, like a lot of people, I'm not gonna say everybody, but I know a lot of people that when it comes to relationships, they look at it from the standpoint of like these one shot type of like the idealistic view of relationships that we see on like social media, right? You see the couple standing on the rooftop looking down at the city, or you know what I'm saying, holding hands in the meadow or something like that. And we always look at relationships and we try to paint our relationships after these things that we're seeing, not realizing that it's literally only a picture of what they are in that time frame. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that when it comes to marriage and relationships in itself, it's a journey, not just a destination of being.
That's a moment. That's a moment.
It's a moment, bro.
It's a moment. It's a moment. So I want to say one question to anybody in Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube land. What void has dating ever filled?
What is the question?
This is not a question for us to answer, but like rhetorical, what void has dating ever filled? Like if you're going into your relationship expecting them to fill you, you will always be miserable.
That's true.
No relationship will ever be, it's never going to satisfy because you're empty. And this is what I posted on Facebook the other day. I said, the responsibility of a relationship is to add to you. It's your responsibility to fill you. Mm-hmm. So if you come in here with your cup, come in here with your cup, like, you know, not trying to be disrespectful, but like the homeless people that be sitting at the red light, this is how you look. Love me, feel me, give me, affirm me, validate me. And then you come back the next day because yesterday wasn't enough. Feel me, validate me. And that's what a lot of us look like in relationships. Constant need of validation, constant need of reassurance is because I need you to feel me. But when I leave home filled, sir, you ain't got to say nothing to me. You ain't got to say nothing. Like I can do it for myself. Now, I don't want to continuously do it for myself, but I will never need you to tell me something so much so that I can't move on until I hear it from you. That's what makes it toxic. All right. So I see some comments. A lot of us will think that we are healed and ready for relationship marriage when we really aren't. So true. Then why I see only God can fill the voids in your hearts. So true. A shallow void, temporary and fleeting, but some love those highs. I was one of them, but I didn't necessarily love the high. I was just desperate.
I don't know why I thought I seen your thighs.
Huh?
So I thought I seen your thighs for some reason.
Cause why?
Some love those thighs.
Big thighs save lives. All right, next question. What question y'all want to ask? What question from the audience, or what question y'all want me to go to next?
Let me see what we got.
Choice.
Number one. No.
I see something like Do y'all still enjoy the dating scene? Which one I really liked was by Justin when he said, should our ideal be our only option? Could it be that our destined mate could be the one that doesn't check all the boxes? My God. I'll let y'all have that one. Go ahead.
That's your question. Justin, go ahead, jump that thing.
Oh well, I mean, oh man, what is there to say? It's one of those situations where I feel when we look at the person that we have in our heads, right? And that Loki just alluded to another question. But when we look at the person that we have in our heads, right? We always have this ideal look, right? But sometimes what I've started to understand is the person that we always have in our heads may not necessarily be what God has for us, right? And as the Bible says, his ways aren't our ways and his thoughts aren't our thoughts. So chances could be like, we may want a specific thing, but chances are we're not either ready for that, or that type of thing that we may be wanting could be a danger to us, which is why we are not getting it. You know what I'm saying? There may be certain things that are attached to what we are seeking after that could ultimately lead to our demise, unfortunately. And again, speaking from experience here, but but I've learned that chances are, if you're not, and we ultimately know, right? If what you're seeking isn't ultimately one in the will of God, and number two isn't really co-signed by God, it can ultimately be, a curse when when what you're really wanting is a blessing. So that's why I asked the question. We may have a lot of boxes that we want checked off for this person, but ultimately, does the person that God has for us, does it have to check off the boxes that we're looking for, or could it just be that we see this and we see this person and we kind of just have this feeling that this could be from God, and then that just be it, and we are okay with that? Can we be comfortable in that? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I do. It
definitely want
does.
to come
I'm
back
gonna put the
on
question back
Kimberly.
up.
But I say we got too many boxes.
Woo!
That's one of
Come
the
on,
things.
teach the church.
That's one of the things that complicate the whole dating process, or make the dating process overwhelming as it is. We have too many boxes. And that's the problem. And we be like, man, I want this man, I want this woman. Why I'm still single? Because of all of your boxes. You got too many boxes. You talking about stuff that need to be unpacked. How many boxes that need to be checked? You have too many boxes.
Come
That's the
on,
problem. You got
sir.
too many boxes. You got too many rules. You got too many stipulations. They got too many things. I'm like, we don't check all God's boxes, but we want somebody to check all our boxes.
Woo! Don't come in here heavy like that.
So I'm like, how you want somebody to check all the boxes when you don't have all the boxes checked? I know I ain't got all the boxes checked. Like how I want to have all these boxes out here lined up. Now I want this person to do this, do that, do this, got this, and that, and that. But where I'm at with all that.
That's good.
And then you talking about this ideal, your ideal probably just a fantasy. Is your ideal realistic? Is it a fairy tale? Is it a glass slipper? Like, what is your ideal? And
Is it
that
in
be
your
the thing.
head? Because a lot of men, I think that y'all what y'all want is in your head. I ain't gonna lie.
They got too many of us that want stuff that's in our head. Some of y'all want a 7-foot man that make 8 figures. That I mean, look, what that he got this type of physique, that
real.
this,
We don't want a
his shoe
7 foot.
size
We
is
want
this
6
size.
foot.
Look, he gotta
6
work. He
foot,
can't
6
work in
figures.
construction. He gotta work at the blue collar. Look, y'all, some of y'all got the box list out the world.
Hey, it's 6 feet and 6 figures.
Okay, but hold on. Now let me say something to that though. If you end up with a person that may not be 6 feet, 6 figures, maybe he's 5'6", making 80,000.
First of all, 5'6" is way short. I don't want it.
but what I'm saying is, but maybe he's 5'6", making 80,000, maybe 5'8", whatever it is, right?
I'll take that.
Okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, he fits in a certain way that may not be what you expected, but it's what you need at the time.
Right.
You see
So
what
I'm
I'm
not
saying?
speaking, and I'm not speaking for all I'm not speaking for all women when I say this, but I'm willing to let the man grow to 6 figures because the Bible says he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. So there may be some things that you or I can't walk into until we're together. I'm not tripping on that. I'm not even tripping if you don't got you don't have a degree. My trip is gonna come when you tell me you want to make 6 figures and you laying on the couch, or you want to make 6 figures and you ain't making no progression towards the 6 figures. You want to stay at McDonald's, like that's my issue. So it's not necessarily that. Even for my boxes, one thing that I had to do was rip up the list. My list was unrealistic and it was so superficial. It was so shallow. It started out with everything that he should look like. That's how my list, before I got saved, my list was everything that he should look like. Come on, I'm about to preach. But then as I came to God, my list started to look like God. It completely shifted. I want my husband to look like God. Now, I'm not saying be perfect, but there has got to be some qualities that should
what
already
God
be in
5'6"
place.
though?
First of all, the Bible says he's a big God. The Bible says he's a big God, okay? But the point I'm making is, and not even talking about his physical, his physicality. Like, do you provide for you? Do you take care of you? What are you doing? Are you ambitious? Are you dependable? Are you faithful? These are the things that I'm looking for. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not marrying nobody ugly, so you can miss me and your mama with that. Like, I'm not doing it. So with that being said, I want to be attractive because I'm thinking about my kids. I don't want my kids to be ugly because you ugly. Like, there's no way I'm even going to get to that place with you. You wanted me to be real, so here you go. So what I'm looking for is the major boxes have to be checked off. Like, I used to be one of the ones who was like, my man has to lead me spiritually. Now that's starting to look a little bit different. Why? Because I'm understanding it now.
I'm still on that way.
Well, but this is what I'm saying. If he doesn't pray for 4 hours a day, am I going to bypass him when this man is trying to seek God, when he's searching for God, like he's hungry for God? I'm willing to not overlook that or bypass that. But how hungry are you for him? It's a difference. Like, we try to be so sticklers on it. Like, if he don't speak in tongues, it's over. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not compromising on big things, but there are big boxes that must be. Number one box, you got to have a relationship with God. You like, this is the number one thing. If that one piece is shaky, can't do it. If you want God because you met me, can't do it. You got to be in this thing for a while, because you might, if I stop talking to you, are you going to leave God? I will not be your God. I will not be your God. So there are major things that must be checked. And these aren't the ideal options. These are the major things about how we're going to raise our kids. What we're going to do with our money. Where we going? Where we living? What you're trying to do? They have to be checked. What's the vision? They have to be checked.
Yeah. And that's simply knowing your needs and your wants. That's knowing what the preferences and what your must-haves, and being able to determine what the differences are. A lot of people do have all those boxes, and they have everything on a need or the must-have side. And to be honest, anybody that's looking for the ideal, you're really just looking for the perfect person. And nobody was created to be our perfect person. So if you're looking for the perfect person, you're not looking to be in a relationship, because that means you have no place to compromise. You have no place to sacrifice. You're not going to do any of those things that you need to do to keep a relationship going, because you want this person to fit every single detail that you want or ask for. So, so we definitely, it's like that 80-20 rule. We definitely have to sacrifice and accommodate and compromise with certain things when it comes to the list or the boxes or whatever we might have. Yes, you definitely, I wouldn't say to totally tear up your list, because you need to have some things that are deal breakers and some things that you just need to make. But kind of like the sister was saying, if the stuff is superficial, then you gotta, reevaluate that list you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm taking people for their list, me, straight up. Like I
You
be
said
like,
it again?
I say I'm taking people at their list, straight up. This what your list is, that what you say, that's what we rolling with. I remember they had a woman that was interested in me and stuff. I'm like, hey, are you in a short man? I'm shocked. Look, what's popping? Do you even date? Have you ever been attracted to short men? Let
You
me
in a
know what's
short
going on with
man?
you. Let me know. That's what I'm saying. I remember that on my page before. I'm like, look, if look, y'all cannot come in my inbox if y'all don't like short men. I ain't the one for you. You heard me? Straight up. So I'm like, I'm gonna take a person at their preferences. I got preferences, just like I got preferences. Other people have preferences, and I think some people they tend to get mad at the fact of other people preferences. If that's what this
Don't get
person
mad
like,
at my
let them
preferences,
like,
sir.
let them like what they like. You heard me?
Exactly. And
Straight up.
that's another thing. That's another thing, Mike. We have to let people like what they like and stop being offended by what they like. I used to be like coming before I started maturing and healing, I used to get a hot dog mad. Like, what do you mean you don't like me? What you mean I'm not your type? I ain't your type. Like I used to be highly offended. But until I started to realize I ain't coming up off my preferences, so I can't ask nobody to do it either.
Straight up. I'm saying. Person ain't
Just
coming up
keeping
on
it
their
100.
preferences. That's the thing. I'm like, that's when we gotta learn to respect other people's preferences. People, I'm
Yeah.
like, look, just know that, look, you and them, y'all ain't clicking, y'all ain't clacking. That's what it is. Guess what? If you're not my preference, I'm not physically attracted to you. Yeah, I might have connected with you spiritually, I might have connected with you mentally, but I'm not physically attracted to you. What I'm like, look, guess what? I'm not about to grow into this. I'm not about to grow into my attraction for you. That's not about to happen. Guess what?
Dang.
If I'm rolling with you spiritually and mentally, look, we just cool. That's it.
Ooh,
I ain't got the physical part. We just cool.
We
That's
ain't
what
that
it
growing
re-
in
is.
it.
Straight up.
Mike, say
that
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 again.
reminds me. That
Say that one
reminds
more.
me.
Hold on, Justin. Say it one more time for the people in the back. We ain't growing into no
Yeah,
attraction.
we not growing
We
into
not
no. Matter
growing.
of fact, I'm short. I ain't growing no more. So guess what? I definitely ain't growing into your attraction. I ain't growing into that thing. I ain't gonna grow to start the now she looking. Ooh. I ain't never met nobody be like, oh, look at the Holy Spirit on her. No, I'm like, oh no, look, I'm looking at something else
This
other than the
ain't
Holy
gonna
Spirit. I'm checking for
My
the Holy
God.
Spirit next. But I'm checking for something else before the Holy Spirit. Like, look, I know this is the first qualification is what I see with my eyes. After that, let me check your Holy Spirit. Let me check what you got mentally. Let me check how you think financially. But
Mm-hmm.
first thing on the list, you got to check that eyesight. If you ain't, if I can't just be like, ooh, look at her, my God. Nah, I don't just want to be because look, when I get in the bed, I don't just want to be like,
Because
oh
you're not
man.
marrying my anointing. All
Look,
right? You
Well,
getting this body yada yada. All
look,
right?
I need your anointing for
okay.
prayer. But when we hit this bed, you heard me? I
When
need
we
this
hit these
body. I
sheets,
need all the rest of this stuff. So I'm like, look,
Wait,
yeah.
so
That reminds me of Love Is Blind. I was watching. So the look on her face.
I love Love is Blind, so I already God.
So, yeah, so there was this couple. We ain't gonna say no names.
No, say the name. Say the name. Which one? Which one of them fool ones on there? Who?
Shake and Deepti, right? Was it? Yeah.
Jesus.
Listen, and Mike, what you said is a powerful point because what happened there was literally a situation where Shake pretty much wasn't physically attracted to his
He
then
said it was like his
fiance.
aunt. It was so
Yeah, and
rude.
it was and the things that he was saying was just like messed up. Like he said she thought he felt like he was with his aunt. He didn't feel sexually attracted to her. She felt like one of the homies, all this other stuff, everything but how but he forgot to mention the fact like she's actually like a really really dope well, he said she was a dope person,
Yeah.
but it was
He
everything
couldn't
but
get past the fact that he
physical.
wasn't physically
Yeah,
attracted to her.
he couldn't be physically
And she
attracted
wasn't
to
even
her.
ugly. Like, I could see she was ugly. She wasn't even ugly.
It wasn't ugly, no, she
I'm
wasn't
saying
His
everybody
type.
attraction
but
different. I'm like, everybody finds different things attract. Like
I mean,
I'm
absolutely. But when I say I'm not attracted to somebody, and I'm sorry, Lord, but they don't be cute at all. Like, I can look past some things, but they be.
hey,
that dude could not get past DD for the attraction
But
for
but
no
the thing
odd
is,
reason.
but this is the thing, Justin, when he first saw her, he was like,
all
"You gonna have
over
my
her.
kids? I'm gonna put my babies in you." And then like the next episode, like you were attracted to her when you first saw her. I think you wasn't having sex with her, so it wasn't able to be sustained or for you to explore that. But when you first saw her, you were like, "Oh my God, I'm giving you all the babies." Now,
y'all about to make me jump into my question now.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead.
Y'all
I like that show. I watched the whole
y'all didn't already mention it.
I watched both seasons.
Like you said, she was attractive at first when he first met her. Maybe I don't know, like y'all saying love blind. Maybe they had sex or whatever, and boom, maybe that
they didn't.
Maybe that didn't hit off. Bam. So, how important is sexual compatibility when basically pursuing someone for marriage?
Well,
I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, if we're gonna go off of, as we should, if we're gonna go off of biblical principle, it's definitely important. But the thing about it is, how I've come to understand it is, there's more than one way to skin a cat. No pun intended. And when it comes down to
y'all skinning cats, what's that, man?
I just got it, and I was like, whoa, okay, go ahead.
So, like I said, there's more than one way of getting around something, and when it comes down to it, there's communication, right? You can talk about the different things that you're into. You can talk about the different things that you want from your partner without actually engaging in it.
Right. I agree.
And it really depends on, again, the compatibility of the couple to be able to do that, because that's not something that everybody can be able to do. Some people are literally just like, no, I want it now, period. And some people are like, no, you gonna wait, and we can talk about it, but you gonna wait until you put a ring on it, period. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it really just depends on the couple. Is it important? Absolutely important. It goes back to physical attraction. Very, very important. But are we going to let our physical attraction to each other impede on what the Bible says about certain things? As Paul says, we must always put our bodies under subjection ultimately. So at the end of the day, you gotta put some stuff to the side if you're really trying to do this thing the right way. You know what I'm saying?
I think sexual compatibility is important, but I think a lot of people are bringing their past sexual partners into our relationship too. And you want to do to me what you did to your ex.
Ooh.
And I'm not your ex. I'm not your. You asked me, and I think before we get married, that conversation needs to be had in the safety. Comfort of safety. Like, we have to talk about that. I'm not gonna be on the phone with you talking about what you want to do to me. We're not gonna be, because I'm gonna want to do it, and I might come to your house. So I'm not gonna do it. You feel me? I'm out here strong in this game. But what we're gonna have to do is have this conversation in the multitude of safety. It has to be with, I feel like, with people that are safe and not necessarily being perverted, but hey, were you molested or were you raped or things like that? Because then you may be trying to bring something twisted that you don't see on pornography, and you think that my body is a contusion, and it's not. I can't do all of those things. So when you ask me, what do I want sexually? I will explain it to you. But I heard it said once that sex should not be a museum. It should be an exhibition. You're supposed to explore me because I'm just me. But when you come in here with all your artifacts, all your antiques, all this past stuff, you will always get it wrong. So sexual compatibility is important, but make sure you're sexually compatible to me and not trying to put your ex face on mine. And you miss one day and call me her name, and then you really gonna have a problem. So I need you to clear all of that before you come over here, just so that you could be safe. That's my take on it.
Sexual compatibility is extremely important. I mean, as we know, when it comes to divorce, it always boils down to money and sex. Yeah, divorce boils down to money and sex, so it's important. But we're talking about sex and marriage. So my mind went to exactly what Tia was talking about. Like, you need to know this person's sexual history, not so much how many people they had sex with, but what type of trauma they experienced, what type of sexual dysfunction somebody might be coming to the table with. What's their sexual identity. So it's so important to have those conversations beforehand. And like she said, we don't have to talk about what we're going to be doing to each other, but that's a start to see how compatible we are. But like I said before, even when it comes to sex, that even takes compromise, that takes sacrifice, that takes communication. So if we're not totally compatible, the first time we do it, we got to communicate. We got to be willing to compromise. We got to be
Let the
willing to
person
sacrifice some
know.
things and to adjust. So it's extremely important.
But I believe that I can become sexually compatible with you when you tell me what you want. But make sure it's not weird. Like, don't be weird. Don't come with this like, because people are perverted. People are literally perverted, and you come in here thinking you're gonna choke people or you're gonna tie me up to the bed. Like, you can't expect to do those things.
What does the
That's
Bible
the
say about
point.
the marriage bed?
It says it's
What it say?
undefiled,
A
but
marriage bed is
defiled.
Anything
The Bible
goes.
says
Hell, they say
undefiled, meaning it's perverted. That means it's pure.
undefiled.
You feel me? So it's undefiled, but you cannot bring your defiled sex into my bed.
Hey, that's because that's what you call it, defiled. So let me jump in this.
No,
That's what this.
because okay, define undefiled. It means it's impure, right?
Mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm.
what it
Go ahead.
means. So, but when you come with impurities into your marriage, you have problems. If you come with all of this lust and pornography and masturbation, you're gonna be comparing me to how you wanted to feel. So when you talking to me as your soon-to-be wife or your wife, ask me what I want. Not out of anything like crazy, but how do I want you to do my body? Instead of trying to think, oh, I saw this one time before. Do not try your tricks on me without us having the conversation first.
Okay. Look, this the thing. We need to definitely have this conversation. I think we need to before marriage. Definitely, we need to have conversation before marriage. Before you get engaged, you need to have this conversation because if you made it this far, you got engaged with somebody, and now you all of a sudden never had this conversation. That's strange. So I know a young lady. She was married to this guy, and guess what? If she wanted to have sex anywhere that wasn't the bed, he looked at her crazy. Now, how you don't know this stuff? How you don't know that your husband don't want to have sex on the sofa? He don't have sex in the shower. He don't have sex nowhere except for the bed. Why? Because you never had these conversations. And we so super spiritual. All this stuff, we get to the point that we don't want to have this conversation. We know God said don't have sex before marriage, but who told us not to have a conversation? This what it is for me. I want to know, what does the bedroom being undefiled mean to you? Because guess what? My same definition for undefiled might not match yours. So in that sense, we might not be compatible. This person might like to dress up and all kind of stuff. They like to role play. Maybe that ain't your thing. So if that ain't your thing, guess what? This is not your person. This person like to do oral sex. This person don't.
Knock until you try it.
Hey, I'm saying, but it's still a person's thing. Like some people, they stuck on what they stuck on. So it's like, we got to understand we're adults. We grown. Even if we ain't having sex, even if we are abstaining, we still got to be mature enough to have this conversation and not get caught up to the point we didn't got married and everything. And now all of a sudden you ain't know, oh, you like to role play. This person don't. Oh, this person think the only place you can have sex is the bedroom. Like we can't wait till we get married to find out these stuff. And we can't wait till we get engaged. Because if we engaged, that means we already too far caught up in this individual that even though we find out we're not sexually compatible, we don't want to break it off because now we so emotionally tied to them. Even if we didn't have sex with them, now we don't want to break free with them. And now we think, you know what, this is gonna change once we get married. They're gonna change the way they view things. Nah, this is the way they view things. This is the way we see things. So it's like that compatibility is important. Like you said, like money and sex is one of two of the biggest things on basically what people get divorced over. And it's not only about the sexual compatibility. Like you could have sexual compatibility, but at the same time, you also need communication in the midst of it. Because guess what? Sometimes once you get married, whatever, even for y'all people that whatever y'all do y'all stuff early, anyway it go, it's like, guess what? When you're having sex with somebody, you have to be able to communicate with them.
Absolutely.
We can't just assume just because I know I please every woman I've been with or whatever, that I'm assuming that this woman just don't like what I'm doing. So it's like, you got to be able to communicate. Well, baby, I need you to do it like this. I do it like that. and not be offended when a person be like, oh, I like it better if you do it like this or that or this.
Well,
Because
that person
we
better
might
be a
get caught up
safe
in our
place. You should be
feelings.
able to talk about stuff like that in your marriage. You gotta be able to talk about stuff like that in your marriage.
Hey, some people
Do
don't.
y'all
Some
do
people
y'all
never even
think I
had this
got
talk
got a
before,
quick
and
question?
it's new to
Do
them in their marriage because they never
y'all
had that conversation before.
do y'all think a couple can be spiritually compatible, mentally compatible, intellectually compatible, physically compatible, but still be sexually compatible, or once
Incompatible?
or be sexually incompatible, or once you have those things, the sex is gonna fall in line.
I think so.
I think you still can be
I think sexual
compatible.
compatibility can be built on. Like
I think so too.
you can go into a marriage and not be sexually compatible, but through getting to know your partner and everything like that, and you know what I'm saying, just like she said, exploring, right? Exploring each other and exploring the body and everything like that, definitely you can become sexually compatible. It's not one of those things that's I think that excuse me, I feel like it's one of those things, sex is one of those things that we've made such a make or break type of situation or issue.
That's why you want to try it before you buy it.
Yeah,
It
and
is
it's
a make or
really
break.
isn't. It's something. I mean, it can be in certain instances, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's really not. Sex can be built on. You can literally go into sex at trash and come
But
out
it's all about
really good
compromise
at
and
it.
communication.
So it's really not as big of a make or break situation as we make it out to be.
Yeah. And it's
I agree
usually
with
not
you,
the
Justin.
sex. If there's a problem with the sex, there's usually underlying issues,
That's what I was
and
going to
the
say.
sex is just a manifestation of it. But
Right.
maybe
And I was going
we're
to
not
say that.
communicating. It's something going on with finances. It's usually, but it's usually just an underlying issue.
It's usually an intimacy issue. It's usually I don't trust you, I don't want you to touch me issue, or I'm mad about something. But I think that sex can break a marriage when you're not having it. And you are carrying around those underlying issues. But you should want to test me, drive me before you buy me, because you're trying to build our relationship on this sexual encounter. And sex is not the first thing. If you even understand intimacy, sex is the last thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the absolutely last thing that we do. So I feel like if I have spiritual what was the question? Compatibility with you, intellectual, you make me laugh. We talking these deep conversations and we praying together. Sir, I'm gonna bust it open for a real nigga. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna bust it open and I'm gonna ride you like a rodeo. You don't gotta worry about pleasing me. Like I can handle my own because I'm getting me. But I'm telling you, if you doing all of that, the sex is always gonna be fireworks. Why would it not? We got all the major pieces in place. The problem with sex not being what you want it to be is because you probably mad at him. Or you holding something against him. Or he done left it. And if you know you're arguing over the toothpaste ain't the problem. You mad because he has a issue with following through on what he said he's gonna do. Or he's not doing these particular things. It's always a bigger problem.
I
It's
don't think it's
never
always
what
that deep. I think
I
sometimes
think
we
some
just not
paperwork could just
sexually
be trash.
compatible.
I don't agree with that because that's such an immature statement. Like, I think it's just such a low, shallow statement. Like, that's what the world said. We're not sexually compatible. First of all, I don't know if I'm sexually compatible with you until I get married. If you're doing it the right way. Like, I
No,
don't
I'm
know
saying
that
it's a
yet.
difference. I think it's a difference in the fact that, like I said, guess what? This person into oral sex, this person not. Those two people are not sexually compatible. This person not even
I think
this person not even gonna try. This person not sexually compatible with this other person. And you thought this person was gonna change because y'all got married, and no, it didn't change. They still
We're not talking
feel the
about them
same
people,
way.
Mike. I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. We're not talking about
What
them
I'm
people.
saying, it's not always as deep as we taking it. Yeah, sometimes that there is underlying issues, but sometimes guess what? Y'all just don't agree on the same thing sexually. Y'all
I don't
don't.
agree.
Y'all not
I don't
interested
agree
in the
with
same
that.
thing sexually. That's
I don't
because
agree with that.
some people probably think that, oh yeah, you know what? Everybody do this. No, everybody don't do this. Everybody don't do that. Some people are way more conservative. You know, some people might be a once a week person. That's who they are.
Okay, so I kind of agree with that. Like when you're asking the questions, like, do you want to do it once a week, or are you like a once a day kind of person, or are you only missionary? So I believe that, but I mean, I guess.
But I
I guess
don't feel like this is me. I don't feel like nobody could be like, oh, this person just whack. Now, if this person willing to try things, I'm like, guess what? I should be able to teach somebody what I like, and that person should be able to teach somebody what they like.
If they
If
love
y'all
you, they
both
should be
are
willing
willing,
to do it,
yeah,
right?
if y'all both open and willing, then ain't no don't tell me nobody sex trash or whatever. I don't know. I can't speak for the women. I don't know the small thing for y'all that might I don't know. You know I know I don't know. So hey,
Well, somebody just said, I feel like if I love a man, the sex will be good. When I was having sex, it was my feelings for the man that made it good. Facts. In my opinion, there's no way it's going to be bad. May not be perfect, but we will have time to work on those things.
Agreed.
I don't know. Some women say
something
size
you
matter.
just.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think is a difference between women and men when it comes to that?
Well, I don't know you guys. I don't know men like that. I know what I know.
If our emotions are so tied to sex, as much as I would say traditional women, because there are women these days that their emotions are not that tied to sex. But I think we've been programmed to be detached from sex, where it's just a physical thing.
Right.
We've grown up that way. Not to say that we can't be emotionally attached, because I think as we mature, that changes. But you know, in the younger days, I think we were able to have sex and just keep it on a sexual level, and that be it. Right. We don't need any other type of emotional connection. We don't need no spiritual connection. We don't need no intellectual.
Right. So that's what makes it different. We're emotional. We're emotional, and it's been said that men are less emotional, more detached, and we are more attached. So,
I do believe that when you're emotionally connected to somebody, like as a man, that make the experience better. But we physical feel first, but the emotional can make it better than it already is.
Yeah, I'm
gonna let Justin talk, and then I want to answer 2 questions from the audience. And we're gonna stay at 2 hours. We might got come back, and we'll talk about this in the group. We'll have to do a part 2. Go ahead, Justin.
You said something that triggered something for me. You said or triggered a question really. You said if you love your significant other, right, then you'd be willing to try some things for them, right, or something to that effect.
Say that again.
If you said earlier, you said if you love your significant no, hold on. If you love your significant other, then you'd be willing to try certain things for that person, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so but wouldn't the adverse also be true if you love your significant other, or if your significant other loves you, then they would respect your choice to not want to do certain things and be willing to just abstain from doing that specific act, right?
Right.
So then where do you where would you want to draw the line in that situation of risking the uncomfortability of one party for the other?
So I think that's a great question. So that's just something that we would have to talk about. I'm willing to try certain things, but you cannot ask a trauma survivor who was choked before out. Like there's just certain things that you can't cross certain lines. You know what I'm saying? That would be too real. I'm not gonna say that part.
Say it a little bit.
There's just a fine line that you have to talk about with your significant other. There are certain things that I'm willing to try that I've never tried before. But if it makes me literally uncomfortable, I'm not going to do it. I also believe, like, spiritually speaking, the Holy Spirit can be in the room with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing I'm not doing, no matter what you ask me, I'm not watching pornography. I will not watch it. I don't love nobody that much to watch pornography because I understand what's attached to pornography. But I also understand if my husband doesn't want these things done, maybe he was traumatized by something or whatever. I'm not going to be like, man, you don't want to do nothing fun, or man, you're just boring. There's certain lines that people like. We have to learn how to also respect people's boundaries.
Respect people's boundaries. But also, it's like that's also tied in communication. Communicate that thing. All right, this what's going on. This is why I'm uncomfortable with this. because
Absolutely.
people want people to understand them in silence. No, I can't understand.
I
I ain't no
agree.
mind reader. I can't
I
understand
agree.
you in silence. Let me see. Speak. Okay, let's find out why you feel this way. Why why this might be a traumatized thing for you. Look, I ain't trying to choke nobody. I'm like, I don't get off no choking stuff or whatever. I don't know. She might like that or whatever. But hey, some people answer that. I don't knock nobody for what they into. Like they say, marriage bed, under fire. What you into is what you into. I ain't watching. I'm like, what the hell? I need to watch pornography for when I got my woman right here. Anyways, I don't know.
Exactly.
But hey,
So I think
once
to answer
again,
your question, Justin, it's not even a fine line. It's a communicative line. And I explained to my husband as my safe place, hey babe, I really don't want to do that. And here's my reason. Now, if I tell you that and he's not understanding or sympathetic, then we have a much bigger issue. Like you're very selfish and you want what you want. And I can't do that.
yeah, that's not even a conversation to have with your husband.
But I think it would
That's
be
the
because I mean
conversation
Wait, why
with
would
your
it be?
boyfriend.
but I say
That's
that because
before they became your husband.
but I don't know all of this. I don't know. I'm not sitting here thinking about all of this. Some things are going to come up in our marriage. There's going to be some things that you may not know that you want to do. Maybe you heard about it, you've seen it. I mean, I don't know what you've done, but there may be some things that we're going to talk about after we get married. And there's some things that I may not have opened about yet that I didn't even know was there because a lot of people are waiting to go to counseling after they've gotten married. So now you got a whole lot that we're trying to unpack together. But there may be some
Go
conversations
to
that
that
we haven't
counselor
talked
before
about yet,
marriage.
or I don't know bothers me because nobody did it to me yet. And then I'm laying in the bed with my husband and he just tried to do something crazy. I'm like, whoa, buddy, I don't even want to do it no more. I don't even want it no more.
Well, it might be something that he never tried before. He's just trying to spice things up. Like, he
Right, but
might
I'm
try to
saying, but
bring
Mike said
something
that
new to the table, and
those
she's
things should
like,
have been.
"Nah, that's not for me." That's why
Right, but I'm
communication
saying
is
this.
so
So Mike was
important.
saying that these things should have been talked about before. I don't know all of the
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
So
I'm saying I could dig that. I'm saying something as far as to the point that somebody that this is something you know about already. So this stuff that you already know, this not something. This ain't. I ain't talking about like no brand new stuff. They're gonna be some brand new stuff in your come along in your marriage. But I'm saying stuff that you know already and that you're not discussing. It's like you withholding information. Oh, we married now. Now I can tell you.
Right, and I don't think that's okay. I don't think that that's okay. I don't think that we should withhold until the person signs their name on a dotted line. Okay, so now listen. So these are all the things. I don't think that that's okay.
That's
Guess what?
called
The
being
engine bad in this
manipulative.
thing. I just wanted to let you know.
That's called being manipulative.
Absolutely.
so is it possible to have to include this topic pre-marriage, like before marriage, to
So
include
we said that. I said
Mhm.
that it should be like there's certain conversations that me and my fiance or boyfriend would have, but it wouldn't be on not what you about to do to me. It'd be on, hey, I don't like that insect, and I think that those conversations need to also be had with a safety, like with somebody that you trust.
I
Yeah, I'm
think
like,
I
why
think
you
the
got?
sex
You shouldn't even have that conversation with nobody on trust.
I think the sex talk is necessary in courtship, especially after he proposes and your wedding planning and things like that.
I don't even think you wait that long. I don't need to
With,
be that emotionally caught up in with you. And now we talking about the sex conversation. Now we don't want to break free, and we both found out we don't like the same things. Now we caught up. We emotionally caught up, and now we don't want to let go of each other. I'm like, I really feel like that conversation needs to come before the whole proposal thing happens, because people don't really understand how much emotional. Like just because you ain't have sex, guess what? Emotional ties are real. I'm like, that relationship I was in with that young lady, and I'm fussing with her all the time. Like, I know I need to break free from her, but I had an emotional tie with her. Even though we're not having sex, we had an emotional tie. Like, bro, that's
Yeah,
not working, but we still here. So we shouldn't
yeah.
get all the way to the point that we wait all the way till we engage to have this conversation. And now
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you scared to break off the marriage. You to put on this time. You so emotionally involved in a
You
person,
done
and
tell
now you
everybody
won't
y'all
let
get
it
married.
go.
so is it safe to
In,
say
in, in
when
all in all reality, ain't nobody waiting that long. In reality, ain't nobody waiting for engagement to talk about sex. I mean, I know we all Christians, but
I know
that
I
don't
ain't.
happen. If it's
is it
enough
safe,
attraction, like the
But
conversation's
I'm
gonna
saying,
come up.
but hey, on the real, some people are that conservative. Some people just so set in the mind that you don't talk about this stuff. Some people are not gonna talk because they feel like you don't talk. You're not supposed to talk about sex is for marriage. They almost feel like the conversation is for marriage. So it's like the reason we have these kind of talks
I never
is to
ran
let
into
people
that
know,
person.
like,
I guess
don't
that's
make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. Like I said, the young lady, you don't find out that your husband don't want to have no sex nowhere except the bedroom. How you don't know this before you get married? Because you don't know to have these conversations.
So I think, I'm sorry, I just want to add on real quick. I think that it's very important to have this conversation for safety though. Like for safety, have you ever been HIV positive? Have you ever had herpes? Like those type of conversations is necessary before engagement. Like we all
absolutely
agree
so
to.
This guy, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so I think that's very important for safety. Now we're talking dirty on the phone and that type of stuff.
Right.
I feel like I need to see the way that he sees sex, because I'm gonna be honest. My God saved, the Lord had to change my mind from how the world sees sex and how he originated sex to be. But this purity in sex, and sex is God's idea, and sex is worship to the Lord in the confine of marriage. But a lot of people see sex in a perverted way because they live in a hypersexual world. And so our mind has been polluted with the perversion of sex, instead of seeing it the way the original the way God originally intended us to look at sex. And so for me personally, I think that's something, I do look at, like, do you see sex as just like, oh, like, how the world sees it, or have you really sat with the Lord and asked, what is your idea of sex, Lord? Like, how do you intimacy? And if you really get into intimacy with the Father and you're vulnerable and you're naked before him, it's like now you're not seeing sex as just like, oh, I'm just trying to get, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. I don't know about you, Justin. That don't sound appealing to me. Being naked before the Father and all this other stuff. That for a woman, that's good. That's good.
Well, it means
Sex is worship
transparent.
music.
Like,
That's
you're
good.
supposed to
For
be
a man, the
transparent
sex is
before the
not worship
Father.
music. The
And
sex
I
is not.
knew
It's
you was
not
gonna
worship
say
to
that.
the Lord. It's not none of that for a man. We're not worship to the Lord. We're not putting on worship music to have sex and none of that stuff. But look, it ain't none of that stuff.
Have sex to Kirk Franklin.
Come on, ain't nobody tell you to play no worship music during sex.
It's not worship to the Lord.
Tell you to do that.
Stuff, you hear me? Real talk. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just being straight up. It's not worship to the Lord. I'm not trying to be naked before God or think about myself being naked before God. I don't want to think about myself being naked before no man. Period. So it's like, that's just not. That's just man. That ain't done.
But Michael ain't trying to have God down there cheering him on in the middle of the act.
Yeah,
but whether you want him to or not, he's there. I mean, I don't know if y'all ever done it. Maybe that'll stop y'all from having sex.
I'm just being
y'all not supposed to. Go ahead, Ink. Go ahead, y'all over talking him. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ink.
All I'm asking is, like, okay, so I get the male perspective. Like, obviously, like, when y'all think about God, y'all not thinking about intimacy and things like that. But what does intimacy look like between the father and a man? Like, what does that look like? That's just, I'm just wondering, because
that's a good question.
We see transparency, we see vulnerability, we see nakedness. And when I say nakedness, I don't mean physical. I mean
butt naked on my bed, like,
it's
okay,
like
God, let's talk. Like,
it's like this intimacy for a man. This man, God, that's my dog. That's my round. That's my people, Jeremy. Look, I can tell him whatever because that's my people. That's my round. My dude gonna understand me when I'm talking to him about certain situations where other people ain't gonna understand me. You heard me? So this is my round. I could tell him what's going on. I could tell him what I'm feeling. I could tell him whatever. I could tell him, I could ask him about this female. What do you think about her? Whatever, because that's my round. I could talk to him like that. I can't talk to anybody any kind of way. I can't let anybody get this close to me. I can't, and just like I don't roll with everybody. I ain't about to roll with this cat because I don't trust that cat like that. But this my round. This my people. This I know I can trust him. I know he got my back. I know he gonna roll with me. So it's like that's the intimacy for me with God. I know you got me covered. I know you got my back. I know I could bring something to you, and you know, boom, this between me and you, because that's that's the intimacy level right there. But yeah, all the other stuff, yeah, you know, I don't know, as a
I
man,
think
yeah, even
I
though,
think
but
But
it
that
sounds
wouldn't speak
good.
for all men, because there's a lot of men who do. I mean, I know that it sounds crazy to say, but you're still the bride of Christ. Like, although
Hey,
you're
yeah, you
not a
know, look, I
woman,
don't never
you're
use
still the
that
bride of
analogy.
Christ.
Because
I think in my
it just ain't appealing to me as a man. I don't use that. I understand it, whatever. It ain't appealing to me as a man. So I wouldn't use that
I
analogy,
get
because if I'm trying to
I
draw men, I'm not using that analogy, because now I'm probably pushing men away. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, you the bride of Christ and all this stuff.
I
Now know
mean, no,
your
I'm
audience.
not.
You gotta know your
No,
audience. You know?
Mike, I didn't say to go out and tell the world they're the bride of Christ.
I know, but I'm just
But
saying
I was just saying, like, technically
it is
speaking,
in a word.
but technically speaking, you are the bride. Period. Like, I hear what you're saying, and I get that it's
I feel what
not
you're saying too.
appealing, but it's still reality that you're still the bride.
You
I
heard me?
think I think when it comes down to it, for
he
me
said I
So
told
Wait,
you
I'm
personally,
want
sorry,
your man
Justin.
to be a
They
bride
call us
now?
men in the
Oh, I don't know what
Bible.
y'all want. You want a masculine
who
man or
calls
you
y'all
want a
men in the
bride? What you
Bible?
want?
Where?
I don't. The Bible sometimes it says man a lot, it says son a lot, but we understand that it means women too. We're included.
Oh, so
I
you talking about
fully.
mankind?
No, it
Yeah, I'm
doesn't
saying
say
different.
mankind
Yeah,
all the
just like
time. The
yeah,
Bible
exactly.
says man. It
That's
says
fact.
son. It says these
It
masculine
says
terms.
man, and sometimes when it says man, it is referring to
Yeah,
men and women. It's really talking about mankind.
But
It's
that's
not
what I'm
yeah.
really
saying. And we don't. I don't want
generally
to get into
speaking to man.
theological conversation, but I'm just saying, like, I
Mm.
hear what you're saying. We have to talk about this offline, but I hear you. However, I don't think that it should make any man feel less secure or less masculine because you worship the Father, or it's worship to the Lord, or it's nakedness before God, or I'm the bride. Like, yes, he can be as masculine as he want to be and still be the bride. Like,
I'm trying to
that
get no
is what
masculine
it is.
bride. Dennis Rodman.
Dennis
Uh-uh.
Next, Jesse, go ahead, because I can't. I'm about to mute you. Go ahead.
So my thing. Oh, Ink. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm being
no,
100.
it's okay. Go ahead. I lost my train of thought.
Go
I have
ahead, because
No,
he is clowning.
no. All I was gonna say was when it comes
Amy,
down
I'm
to it. I
glad
mean,
you're back. I am so
Hey,
glad you're back.
how you doing, bride? AB?
You
I
are
got.
so childish. Oh my
So
gosh.
anyway,
Go ahead, Justin.
when it comes down to it, I feel like when to answer Ink's question, right?
Mm.
When it comes down to what intimacy with God really looks like, I look at the phrase when they talk about, he's a friend that sticks closer than a brother, right? I think of that closeness, that tight knit relationship where you guys are literally just like this, and you know that you're in his hand and nobody can pluck you out. Um, so while I do, as Sarah said, I do definitely understand the analogy of just naked, or
Thanks,
that
Steve. I
vulnerability,
hate porn.
right? That
Yes. I hate,
no, Maisha had me cracking up with that "never would have made it" line.
like,
She had
I
me.
can't. Y'all are going crazy on this live. Like, y'all are funny.
Nah, but yeah,
Anyways,
I think while the analogy can, as Mike said, could be a little bit off-putting,
I
but
got you. I feel you.
I do understand the meaning of just being vulnerable and being open and honest and really just being kind of just see through when it comes to God, because regardless of what happens, you know what I'm saying, there's nobody on this earth or anywhere beyond that can understand you the way God does. And I think there's a comfort in that. I think there's a security in that, especially when it comes to marriage and everything like that, and just relationships in general. I think being able to be open and honest even before your spouse or your significant other, I think that kind of, not to the same extent as God, but I think some of those same principles we need to, in order to be in an effective relationship, I think we need to start not being scared of going that far with our significant other, and trying to really, especially if we want to, as we say, build these healthy godly relationships, it starts with really trying to do what God says with these relationships, and really starting to and starting to enact these principles with our significant others and our spouses. And in doing so, I think we definitely can see God, and that's how actually we see God in our relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because we're starting to enact all these principles. That's all I have to say about that.
But real quick.
So that's how men see intimacy, which is parallel to sex. So y'all see sex and intimacy the same way. I'm just wondering.
Not necessarily, no.
Justin, hold on. Make sure everybody, we got 110 comments on this thing. Make sure y'all are sharing. Take about 10 seconds. Let's give a commercial, everybody. Make sure you share this. And I know I'm just not asking you to share it at the end, but please share this live because it is so powerful. And I know that it's shaking up some things. I think we're stirring some things in our cities and stuff right now. And more people need to hear this. So make sure that you're sharing it. If you left a comment, go share it, please. We would love, can y'all tell people we would love them to share?
Oh, definitely.
Man, we would love y'all to share. Hey, Brian, tell them to share, Brian.
See, Mike, I felt the intimacy in that. I felt your intimacy. Tell the bride to share, Mike. Tell the bride to share.
Make sure y'all share this thing. I appreciate it. If y'all brides would share this thing out here.
Thank you, brides.
On the real, really and seriously though, this is man, they had some questions I wanted to get to.
But I want to ask some more questions. Do y'all have time for 2 more questions?
Kendra had 2 good questions that we didn't get the answer.
Thank you, Mike, for bringing it back. I love bride. I thank you, bride. I thank you. That was a really nice.
Are we just referring to each other as brides now? Is that what we're doing?
Because yeah, I think that was a great point. So Kendra asked, what are y'all thoughts on kissing while abstaining from sex until marriage? I'm gonna go ahead and start this out. First of all, you better kiss me. I don't know what Heather Lindsay has put on y'all. I don't know what spell she has prayed over y'all and how they don't hold hands and how they don't kiss before marriage. Like tongue me down. Not tongue me down, but you can give me a kiss. But we're not. I don't want to kiss you so much so I want to do other things and clothes are coming off. So just be careful. But I think it's who it's for. Not kissing until marriage is who it's for, and it's not for me. So to each their own.
For me, I will say kiss away, kiss me in your face, kiss me through the phone, kiss me anywhere you want. I don't care.
Oh my God. Don't kiss him anywhere, y'all. Don't kiss him anywhere. Don't go too far down south, okay?
You know what I mean. But like, I know I'm a person. One of my love languages is physical touch.
Me too. Yeah.
Kiss me, please, and I promise it ain't gonna go too far.
I'm gonna kiss you back.
Facts. Absolutely.
The bride gonna kiss you back, okay? You bring them lips over here. The bride. I'm feeling Justin and Mike. I'm feeling. You may now kiss the bride, okay? That's what I'm feeling in this moment.
They don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. You might kiss the bride. Which one? Who the bride? We don't know. Bride, you may kiss the bride.
I run up on something. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Oh yeah, so you done walk up on something. I'm just trying to explain to them.
Because you weren't here. No, Mike, you are not explaining. Mike is not explaining.
Let's finish the question.
Okay.
So, what you think about that, AB? About the whole...
you want to kiss before marriage?
Man, do I? Of course I do. But I would definitely advise it's situational. It's situational. It depends what type of kiss you're talking about. He's talking where we at when we kissing, what time of the day, what time of the night it is when we kissing. All that stuff plays a major factor when we talking about kissing. The type of kissing that we're doing, because listen, the flesh is weak, and I may not be, the flesh is weak. So if you kiss me a certain way in a certain situation, other things might happen. So I definitely have to put some boundaries around that. The way we kiss, where we kiss, when we kiss, if we're talking about kissing. So, I'm not going to
for. I think one of you guys kind of looked at me like Heather Lindsay was the one that started this whole they didn't kiss till marriage, and it started being these different people. That's why you need to stop looking at other people's relationship and stop trying to like make it fit. Like all rules does not apply. All sizes does not fit all.
I think it just pertains to the person. I was to the point where I was gonna be like, look, I was dealing with this young lady. I'm like, look, I don't want to kiss her until till I get engaged or whatever, blah blah blah. So we kicking it, we chilling and stuff. She's like, man, look, bruh, I can't do that. So I'm like, okay, this is like even this shows you in the context of even before marriage. So it's like, okay, I had a thought in my mind of how I want to roll or whatever, but I'm really interested in this person. I care about this person and all this other stuff. So it's like, guess what? I had to be willing to know, can I make a compromise here? So boom, here we come, we make a compromise. Oh yeah, matter of fact, to even point with the same person, I didn't like the way, particularly how they kissed. So we had that discussion. And guess
Man,
what?
did she swallow
But
your face, Mike?
nah, this the thing. That's why I talk about maturity and communication. This
Mm-hmm.
person accepted that, switched things up, boom, we was good. Because we was able to communicate. I was able to be real. I ain't pretend like, oh yeah, oh, I just love the way this person kissing. Nah, I was able to address that, talk to this person, tell this person, bam, and we was flowing. And like, hey, I don't know, like I said, but I feel like also like me and this person, we were strong about waiting to have sex to after marriage. So
Mm-hmm.
Of
look,
course. Oh,
we
oh.
we kissed. Look, we done some kissing. You heard me? And look, some kissing that probably get y'all in trouble. But
Talk about it.
you heard me? We laying in the bed, kissing all kind of stuff, but we just never.
Boundaries.
Hey, we
In
got
the
that.
bed.
We brought it up. We brought it up. But guess what? We never crossed. We never made it to that sex bomb. We never crossed that line. Because I
But
feel
if you
like
kept
even in
going in
that
the bed
sense,
to kiss, you was gonna make it there.
hey, and
You're
we've done it
strong.
multiple times, and we ain't
Now,
crossed that line.
Sean, don't think of
But
yourself more highly than
but
you
I'm like
are.
this I wouldn't tell everybody. I wouldn't give nobody advice to do that because this we was maybe strong enough to do that. That don't mean the next
I don't
person
think
is.
you were though.
Oh, we were strong enough to do it. We
No, I
did.
don't think you were though.
We was
Because I
strong.
think when you start saying I was strong enough, you're playing with fire. Like it's very dangerous because I thought I was strong enough and it went from kissing on the couch to kissing in the bed. This I was good and saved. And it came to kissing in the bed. Now I'm spending the night in the bed. Like after a while, and my godfather even said, don't do that because you're playing with fire because you ain't did it yet. But it may just be that one day when you can't hold it no more. When that young man reached over to that dresser, told him, oh, I thought you said get a condom. I did not. I did not say get no condom, and I'm not having sex with you, but other things went down. So you cannot say I'm
I
strong.
think
Like
y'all, that's
maybe
the
it
thing.
worked for
I don't
you
think
that
both of
one
y'all was.
time.
Both of y'all had that same mindset. Both of y'all didn't have the
No,
same mindset that Stan. I don't even think both of y'all had the same mindset that Stan. He already talking about. You said get the condom. Like me and this person already have the mindset that I think. This ain't
no, we didn't
one
have the
person.
mindset. He
One
knew I
person
wasn't
does
doing
and one
anything.
person
He
doesn't.
wanted to do it, and he
You
knew
hear
I
me?
wasn't doing it.
That definitely gonna work if the two people ain't got the mindset. Because
Yeah, both of y'all
Somebody's
always
gonna
had
pull
a mind. I'm
one
like
or the
really
other.
serious about this.
Man, y'all capping. Y'all capping.
No,
Y'all
I'm being
capping.
I'm being
Somebody
100.
Not capping.
I don't.
You're not
I'm
gonna
being
tell
100.
me we got the same mindset and y'all both saved and we just in the bed like we can kiss, but don't do nothing else. You capping.
Who
You're
capping? Why
faking.
we gotta be capping though? That's the
Because
thing.
that's because you
Just
said you
because
did it one time and you said y'all was kissing. You can't tell me you gonna keep stopping every single time. Like that's you're quit playing. Like nah, like
hey,
you
hey,
cap. You
everybody,
cap.
like I say, I wouldn't tell everybody to do this, you hear me? I wouldn't I wouldn't tell nobody to do
Right,
it. I'm saying
Michael.
they see people feel like you're capping now. Ain't that something?
Oh,
But
Ink is
I'm
like
saying
I
just
say, I'm gonna keep
saying,
it
like, if
100.
you,
I'm
I
keeping
need
it
another
100 all
man
the
on
time.
here because I don't think, I think that
I'm gonna keep it
I think
100.
that just
Know
because I
your
had my
boundaries.
hand close enough to the fire and I didn't get burned doesn't mean that something didn't happen. You feel me?
You
Like
still
you have
felt
to
the
be
heat.
super careful. And you're saying, I'm not saying don't do this, but you shouldn't be in the bed, period. Even if we got the same mindset. Do you know how many people had the same mindset and still did it because they thought they were strong enough to be in this bed with somebody?
Well,
Like what?
Yeah. That's why I told y'all don't try this at home.
yeah, y'all saying the same
I
thing.
ain't rocking with that
right.
gospel.
I told them don't try it at
Y'all
home.
saying the same
That's all
thing.
you
That's what I told them. I told
I
them
ain't
don't
rocking
try
with
it at
that
home.
gospel.
That's what I told them,
I,
AB. I told them don't try it at home,
Yeah,
AB.
y'all saying the same thing. Mike is saying that was for him. Tier, you said that. Listen,
Everybody got to know their
your
boundaries. Some people
boundaries.
can't even kiss on the couch. Some
Y'all
people can't kiss in the
both
car.
saying that.
Know
You
your
know, you
boundaries.
gotta
it
know
goes
who
back,
you
but
are.
let's talk about the scripture. Don't think of yourself more highly than you ought to. Does it not say that?
True.
Don't think
So
of
don't
myself
come
more
at me
highly
talking
than
about myself.
myself.
I'm strong enough to handle it. You cannot
So
say you're
basically,
strong enough to
I,
handle it.
so basically, I shouldn't think that, you know what, I could do good at this job. I'm thinking too high on myself.
I don't think that's the same
Hold on,
thing.
Justin.
No, see,
Justin, hold
now
on.
y'all taking it,
Justin,
y'all
hold
want to
on.
y'all want to apply it to certain things.
Justin, hold on.
No,
Now
but
y'all want to apply it to certain things.
Justin, hold on. Mike, we talk about sex and we talk about the bedroom.
Pastor.
We talk about sex and we talk about the bedroom. Now, I didn't say not think of yourself highly. You told me we didn't do it because I was strong enough. I think that's the problem where you think that you couldn't fall.
Oh, I would never think that I can't. I'm saying we can always fall. I don't even, but me myself, I'm like, this my thing. I don't think on the fact of falling. Like I say, when I had sex with somebody, I didn't fall. I jumped.
Okay.
I didn't fall. See, y'all with all that. I start keeping it real. I keep it 100, dog. Straight up, like I said, I know I was strong enough for that. When I have sex, I jumped in it. I didn't fall. I didn't trip. I didn't stumble. I jumped in that thing. I did not fall. That ain't me. I'm jumping. They fall. Nah, I keep it 100, man. I keep it real.
I
I'm
appreciate
just
it. I'm
saying.
not mad.
I'm just saying. I know what I'm strong enough to handle, what I'm strong enough not to, and I know when I want to go somewhere and do something, I'm going to do it if I set my mind to it. It's like that. This young lady kept wanting to come to the house. I'm like, no, bro, you can't come over here. No, you can't come over here. She kept wanting to come. So I'm like, all right, you coming? I already set my mind. Now you're on your way. Look, my convictions is turned off right now. Come on, let's do this thing. I'm keeping it 100. When
so you're
I didn't
able to
fall,
turn that switch on and off, is that's what you're telling me?
what I'm saying is like this. My situation, it wasn't no fall. Other people, y'all gonna be like, y'all fell, whatever, that's cool. I didn't fall. I jumped. Reason I was able to be an abstain for 7 years and whatever, that was a choice I made.
There's a question on the board for you,
I made
Mike.
the choice to have sex.
There's a question on the board for you, Mike.
So, Mike, if y'all been kissing and she say, man, just put it in. Oh, my God. Would you stop her? Would you?
I didn't think it was fall.
Say that you would stop her?
But that's what them guys have to do on the same
Y'all
thing.
act like a man can't say no to sex. Like really?
We're not acting. I'm not acting like it. That's a man who asked you.
No, I'm just saying, y'all shocked. I'm like, I can stop a person. I didn't stop it with I done been with women that's Christian that wanted to have sex with me, but no, I didn't because this what I'm doing. I'm doing this abstaining thing. So we not having.
If you are in the mindset that you're strong enough, then God be with you. I mean, that's all I can say
I'm saying,
to you.
you know,
I'm very strong. I'm very strong. Okay, but I'm telling you now. Maybe you ain't. I done had my body dumping. And I ain't talking about the parts you see. I'm talking about the parts you don't see. And I'm just like, put the tip in a little bit. Like, I'm not going to lie and sit here and tell you that I got it all together. I know if I'm attracted to you, you make me laugh. We spending time together. It might be a little hard for me to tell you to stop, especially when I'm sitting there playing with you, sitting on your lap, in the pool straddling you. You are playing with fire. Now, if you say you can stop it and handle it, then God be with you. I'm good.
I'm just saying. I didn't fall.
That used to be our plan.
I'm just saying, real talk.
Let me just put the head in. That's how you go.
I'm just keeping it getting.
I'm just keeping it 100. You heard me? Like I said, when I fall,
you strong enough.
I was willing. I wasn't tempted into it. I wasn't none of that. I was willing and ready, and let's go,
boy.
My hands are off. I feel like the man who washed his hands. I
get it.
Go ahead, Ink.
Go ahead.
I mean, clearly the floor is open. Okay, I'm done.
The floor is open.
Say it again, Ink.
Nah, I'm just saying. You didn't ask me the question, and we been on here for 2.5 hours.
What question you talking about?
So, okay, I'm gonna say this, and then we got one more question. So, Kendra says, Mike, you are literally playing with fire. Y'all were good for a while, but it continued. You would have eventually slipped. The flesh wants what it wants. I agree. I can
All
say
people trying to make me slip.
no to a girl I don't like, not to a girl I like. If we together and we kissing and she say let's go, I going. Kendra said the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. We have when you play around with fire long enough, you shall get burned. I don't know about y'all, but you will burn. Hold on, one more comment. Right, ain't no mistakes of falling. I know what I'm doing before I do it.
Fact.
Okay. It's only the men. It's only y'all saying this. Y'all talk a big game, but okay.
I would say like this: when I was in the world, I use sex as a weapon. I'm like, I'm gonna have sex. I'm gonna sex this girl up good for that first time, and guess what? I'm gonna act like I don't want it no more. So now she wanted from me more than I wanted from her.
Now? Is that still here?
What, that right now?
Yeah.
I'm just saying what I did.
Oh,
what I'm saying, I had the ability to control this thing. That's what I do. I'm saying, what can I say?
I think that you're pride. I feel like there's a lot of pride coming from the third box in the corner. I don't know.
Sometimes we strong and some every weekend. Like I said, when I didn't fall, I jumped. That's
all I'm gonna say.
100% fact.
All I'm gonna say is, I think I must echo AB's sentiments. I think that Tiara, I think you and Mike low key at the foundation of it all. I think y'all are saying the same thing. Mike is saying he doesn't advise anybody to do what he's doing. I think you're also cautioning people also. But I think the biggest problem or the biggest disconnect is the fact that Mike, in your case, right? You're just being straight up like, yo, this is what it was. It wasn't a mistake. I planned on doing this when it happened, and that's just what it is. Right. And as you can see, like, you have a lot of dudes in the comments that are saying that. And so I guess you could say, like, at least from a lot of the men's perspectives, you know what I'm saying? If they want it, they're going to do it, regardless.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Who knows?
I'm just saying, I'm going to leave this comment. I'm going to leave this part. We're going to move to the next one. Just ask the Lord. That's all I'm gonna say. Just ask the Lord. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Ask Jesus. Ask the Lord to direct and guide you. And if he says that he's cool with it, then by all means, Pastor Mike, do what you do. Big Mike, do what you do. Okay. I ain't got nothing to say about it. The next question is dating multiple people, and we will let Ink answer.
There we go. That's the question I'm waiting for.
No, I didn't answer. I didn't answer the kissing question part.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Wait, before time out, before she answered the kissing question, there will be no additional commentary after she say what she said. We are moving on to the next question.
Yeah, we're done with this.
Go ahead, Ink.
Okay, so what was the question?
Wait, somebody says I'm in the world right now at the bar listening to the word of God on live. Mike, you a bad man, Bubba. You bad. You bad. So the question was, what are y'all thoughts on kissing while abstaining from sex until marriage?
Not kissing.
For me personally, I'm not on the Heather Lindsay wave, but I know where I came from, and I know my past, and I just know that kissing before marriage is just not for me. And it's not because oh, you're trying to be holier than thou. No. It's just because I just feel like that can of worm I don't want to open to truly set boundaries to keep me right. And so I guess it's not something that I came up with like when I first got saved. It happened over time, right? Where I'm like, okay, Lord, like these lips ain't for nobody until they say I do. At the altar. And that's just my personal standard. Like, and I know the Lord, whoever the Lord brings, hallelujah, he'll have the same mindset. It won't be on some like, oh, that's weird, or you know what I'm saying? I don't think so. I know that my God-given ordained husband will have the same mindset. Because I know where I came from, and I know what I can do, and I know my weaknesses, and I know, you know what I'm saying? So that's
she talking about kissing, Mike. She talking about kissing.
know what I'm saying? This person that she running encounter, they're gonna be on the same mindset. That's fact.
I done said I was done. All right, Ink, you done?
You heard me? I'm agreeing
All
with Ink.
right.
Can I agree with Ink?
No,
Ink, can I agree with you one for
no,
a second, Ink?
I don't. I'm not gonna let you agree because no. Mm-mm.
No, I can't agree with Ink.
Dating multiple people versus dating one at a time. What are
All
y'all
right, go ahead.
thoughts?
What y'all got?
Dating
I'm gonna let
multiple
Mike go
people
first.
versus dating one at a time, and this is a conversation that's definitely
Multiple
in
people is exhausting, man.
my
That's
life.
exhausting.
For me
Ladies
personally,
first.
and I can only
Because AB ain't had a chance. AB,
yeah,
you
I
had a
can,
good couple minutes. Go ahead,
I
AB.
can only talk about my personal preference.
Okay.
People could do what they want. That is definitely a choice. It's a
Mm-hmm.
preference if you want to date one at a time or multiple people. But for
Mm-hmm.
me personally, what's going on in my life, I don't have time to date multiple people.
I
Like
feel you.
I don't have the energy. I don't have the attention span. I'm too focused on my goals. I'm too focused on purpose. I'm too focused on being a dad. I'm too focused on trying to build myself up spiritually to be dating five people at once.
Can I
So I
ask you this while you answering that question? What does dating define dating?
when I think of dating, I'm thinking about meeting people, trying to get to know them with the
Bang.
hope or the intentions of moving on to something bigger, like a
Gotcha.
Facts.
relationship.
Okay. Because we all clearly in the
Do
world we have
everybody agree?
very different definitions of dating.
Do
Like it's
everybody
a
agree about that definition though?
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm not
yeah.
no
I
commit,
agree.
no
I'm on the
commitment,
fence.
nothing like that.
Say
All
I'm
right.
Um,
sorry, Justin. Hold on. AB,
Justin,
say
you
that
on the
last
fence?
part.
yeah, I'm not talking about commitment or nothing exclusive.
Okay.
So me, I
Yeah.
got to do one at a time
Yeah.
because that's all my life could fit in. And if I'm saying that I'm trying to find a wife, I think that's good practice for me.
Right.
It's good practice for me to focus my attention, give all my energy, all my time, my resources to one woman at a time. If it don't work out, I could find someone else. But there's no
But
need for me to juggle a bunch of women to find one.
but do you believe that in doing that, and say for instance, you think they're the one, and then you find out? I think a lot of people stay in too long, even after they kind of know or having a sense, and you have to have time to heal. Now after that, do you think that you can miss your wife by just dating one at a time?
Well, we're talking about dating. So I'm not talking about a relationship.
No,
Like
but if
if
you're dating only one person, getting to know one person at a time, and you're kind of focusing on that one person, do you think that the opportunity cost of that is not being with the one?
no, I
When
don't
you're in a
feel that way.
relationship, that's one person at a time.
Yeah, I don't feel that. I
Well,
don't
we're
feel
talking
that
about
way.
dating.
I don't think I'm losing out. Like I don't think I'm missing any opportunities because, like I said, there's so much other stuff that I filled my life up with that I'm not even really looking for other opportunities. So when I meet somebody that I'm interested in, that I really like, and we get along, I focus on that one person.
Where you
Like
from?
my family's from Liberia, so
Oh,
I
okay.
so it's from Liberia. So yeah, so I do one at a time. That's all I. That's the all I got time for to do in my life. Um,
Okay.
One at a time. There was a time when I did multiple, running around and juggling women here and there, but
Oh,
you
I
know
wasn't dating then.
you grow and mature also. So I've been there and done that. So I don't need to do that no more because I know
You
where
wasn't
that
dating
road
though. You was
leads.
dating. That was dating for you. When I
Yeah.
was dealing with multiple women, I wasn't dating.
Well,
I
I
just
mean,
after one thing.
yeah, I guess I can agree with that. I can agree with that. That's at some points it was dating, but overall it's probably was just sex. Probably was just sex. So
Justin, why you don't agree? Come on, what you don't agree about?
It's not that I don't agree. I'm just on the fence because number one, I've always been a person that
Wait, I am so sorry. AB,
hello.
did you say you're Liberian?
yep.
Oh wow, my people. Okay, God. I'm
All I
Liberian
do.
too.
Okay.
AB,
Amen.
you have
Yeah,
a
I'm
question.
from
I'm sorry,
Liberia.
Justin. AB, you have a question in the comments. You only date women that you already see yourself marrying.
No, I can't say that. Because I don't see myself. I date women that I'm interested in. I date women, that spark some type of attention, grab my attention. That I want to get to know better, and then that has to develop into me saying, okay, I can see myself marrying this woman. I don't see myself marrying a woman before I get to know her. That's just not how I operate. I date a woman because she seems interested to me. I'm interested. I want to get to know who she is, but I'm not jumping from I don't know you and I can marry that woman. That's just not how I work.
Are
I
you
need
dating to? Do men date to marry, or
I
do
would
you date to see what's up?
What do you
I'm
mean by
like,
what's up?
I don't even
So,
think.
do you date to marry, or because a lot of people are out here just dating, just having fun, or there is no end goal, or is the end goal I'm dating women because I want to be married?
For me, you got to build potential. If you ain't no potential, it ain't happening.
So, a potential to marry, or a
Yes.
potential of
Yeah,
Like I gotta
potential wife.
potentially probably see myself marrying this person. Else we not getting to know each other.
right. So that's what I was asking AB.
No,
That's what I was. That was
I want to get married, but I want to develop a friendship. I want to develop a relationship before I jump to say I'm gonna see myself marrying this woman. Like it's a process for me.
absolutely. But is the end goal marriage for you?
The end goal is marriage.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm saying
So,
it's a process
I
for
mean,
us
technically,
all,
you're
but
answering the
yeah.
question. You are dating to marry. Like, you're not saying I'm going to marry this woman, but you are dating to find your wife.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
So,
Basically, yeah.
yeah, that's the question.
I'm very intentional with what I'm doing. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. All right.
Not,
Yeah, that's
not
it.
doing it for fun. Mm-hmm.
Come
All
on,
right, Justin,
Justin.
I'm so
We still
sorry. Go ahead,
waiting on
Justin.
Justin.
For me personally, as he was answering, I was also going in my mind about how I want to answer this question. And actually, I will say I I don't have a problem with dating multiple people, but I will
How
I
many? How
will
many? How many?
no, nothing like 10. I ain't like out there for the
Okay,
streets.
Justin with the 10.
No,
Justin was
I'm
crazy.
not out there in the
Keep
streets
that
looking
for
like
10
10
at the
toes
basket.
down.
Justin was like, I'm in the streets.
but
You
let,
can
but let
be
me let me let
all
me
someone small.
but let
He
me
at
let me
the
bring
Southside line. He at the
let me bring
Southside line, 10 for 10.
Justin's
let me
hotline is blinging. Just
hold
like,
on, let
no
me
number.
bring
I
balance
can't
because
answer the wall.
I'm not the type to just date like multiples and tons of people. Like I'm not that. But what I do think,
He was like, no, not me.
No.
no, no, but here's the reason why. Because I believe that there's a big difference between dating and courting somebody, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm very meticulous when it comes to relationships. So there's always there's a talking stage, dating phase, courting phase, engagement, then marriage.
Gotcha.
And when it comes to dating, I don't mind dating a few different people just to see what really is best for me because I've put all my eggs in one basket before, as Ink said before. And
Uh-huh.
in doing that, I realized that
You did.
sometimes she did.
She did. I said that. Yeah, you did.
And in doing that, it definitely showed me, okay, I know how to put all my resources into one person. However, you may be putting all your resources into a person that does not really deserve those resources.
He said city boy, Justin.
Wait, what? City?
Hey, man, out there.
Justin, I am in tears. I'm sorry. That was hilarious. I'm sorry. Continue.
See, I was about to say
Oh
period
my
at the end of one of
god.
those sentences, and I'm so glad I didn't. Anywho,
Oh Lord.
literally, he's so. Anyway, so like I said, I do believe that in dating, I've put all my eggs in one basket before,
Yeah.
and it didn't work because I was putting all my eggs in one basket of somebody who doesn't really deserve it. So now I've learned to pull back and really survey the situation or survey the area or
That's
survey
good.
the field, so to speak. I know people don't
Yeah.
like calling it the field, but you know what it is.
It is what it is.
And
You
in doing
playing
so,
that
I've
field
kind of
too.
been able to.
Land.
But what I've been able to do
Be like,
now,
hey,
I've
call
been more
around the
comfortable
bench.
because the crazy thing about it is it's more of a me thing. because I was so gung ho about, I gotta be this type of person, I gotta be this type of man, I gotta be, monogamous, da, 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 da. And there's no problem with that. I definitely believe I'm definitely a monogamous person. However, I do believe that just because you're monogamous doesn't mean that you have to, and I maybe open up a can of worms, but just because you're monogamous doesn't mean that when you're getting to know people that are potentials, it doesn't mean like I said, you have to put all your eggs in that one person. I think that when it comes down to it, it's okay to kind of to get to know this person and get to know that person, as long as it's not saying like too extreme, you know what I'm saying? And you're being forthright with the situation and being forthright with the people, like, yo, listen, you're not the only person there, and you have free reign to date whoever you want to date also. But I do see a lot of potential in you, and I would like to get to know you more and all and all those things, so that you also bring balance to the understanding of the relationship.
What's
and then
crazy?
from doing that, you go into courting, and then from there you go into courting, and that's when you become. I believe courting is when you really become exclusive. So yeah.
Gotcha.
So you got to start in 5. You start off with.
I got to start in 3. Anyway, go ahead.
Start in 3. Okay.
The most I will do is 3. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Listen.
I'm not saying I'm talking to 3. I said the most I will do is 3. There's a difference.
Okay.
You would do
I'm
them?
going to say this. It's so funny how in online dating, let me tell you how confident I was. I was on the online dating scene or whatever. And I was talking to one guy. He had gave me his number, and I actually was like, okay, I'll call you. So I called him, right?
Please don't.
And I was talking to him, but I thought I was talking to somebody else. Dang it. And I didn't have no shame. I was like, we on the dating website. I done talked to like 400 people today. Like, it is what it is. But in real world, I wouldn't have done that. Mm-hmm. Because we try to keep it a secret, like we ain't talking to nobody else when you macking. Like you out here, you playing the rounds. Now for me, I would like to just date one person. I haven't juggled people since like elementary school, middle, one of the two. It's been a long time. I had, and I didn't have 5 people I was dating. I had 5 boyfriends at the fair one time, and I was ducking them, leaving one on the ride, and be like, I'm coming right back. Leave one at the carnival station. Come right back. Leave one at the like. I had to leave the fair. But this was like in middle school.
Maisha, what a pimp for her. Hello.
City girl.
Maisha, what a pimp for her.
City girl.
City girl T. But like now, I'm not even saying I had the opportunity or that privilege, because I don't think it's like necessarily a privilege. But I started to develop the mindset that you can't tell people that you're talking to other people. Like I was trying to protect people, maybe. And I didn't want to just focus on one, but I always end up focusing on the wrong one. So when I surveyed the land or the field, like Justin calls it, and looked for my bride, or whatever the case may be, I look for my bride, right? What I want to do, honestly, is I want to be able to date one person because I've spent enough time, like before if you approach me or I approach you, which we've talked about, maybe me possibly doing that. But if after we've been surveying each other, I think when we get to the place of us dating and getting to know each other.
I want to interrupt you 1 second. You limit to the people that can comment on the live?
No, I don't know why y'all. No.
Your live must not be public.
It's
that must be.
I'm looking. It's public.
I done had multiple people say they can't comment on the on the live.
Amy said the same thing. I mean, it's because Justin, you remember you asked me. I made it public. It's public. Yeah. They should at least be able to comment on your part of it if you shared it.
But if they probably want to comment on the main thread, that's where everybody at is on your page.
Right, but I'm looking at comments.
Yeah, I actually don't see nobody that I'm friends with probably. So it probably had something to do with it wasn't public all the way or something.
Oh, but they can send it, like they can send it DMs. I mean, we would love your questions and comments. Like I would love to see other people, but I mean, I don't know.
Oh, y'all people with y'all private pages. I don't understand.
I don't have my page is in private. Maybe because we're doing it from Watch Them Out. We're doing it from StreamYard. So I think that it's maybe there's some stipulations because it's through StreamYard. Because my page has always been public. It's not private at all.
Well, some StreamYard people still comment. They'll just be their name just wouldn't pop up. They'll be like an unknown comment.
Right. So I don't like y'all. Look, it's public. I don't have it private.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't. Well, we'll get it right. I promise you, we'll get it right.
I'll pull up friends.
For next time.
Next one, because we're gonna do this again. But like I was saying, I would like to just date one person at a time. I that's what I would like, but I wouldn't. I don't want to limit my options because I think even on Love Is Blind, I loved what Jared said. Like he was really enjoying Mallory and Ayana. And he said we don't have fun in dating. And that reminds me of what Mike's question was. Like, we aren't having fun. Like, we too busy trying to hide the fact that we are talking to multiple people or that this person may not be it. And we forget to just enjoy the conversation until it gets to the time where it's like, okay, I want more. And now I want more with this particular person. So I want to enjoy dating. And I've not had that opportunity to really enjoy my dating life because it was so many stipulations and requirements and can't do this and do's and don'ts and all of those other things.
Right.
Hey, you be dating on this? Let me give you the side.
Come through, Ink.
Right. Put that in the comments. Thank you, Sade. I knew it was public, sis. They trying to get on me. I made it public.
Oh, you got a private page.
My mama. Shoot, because I know
my mama page is private now.
Yeah, Ink, what were you going to say?
So what was the question again? Online.
You always gotta.
The question is: dating multiple people or dating one person at a time?
So I think dating is collecting data. And so while collecting data, you are surface level for the most part in getting to know a person, you know, their likes, their dislikes, where they're from, what they, you know, their belief system, their doctrine, their upbringing, and that type of stuff, right? And so I think like in the beginning phases, like the first 2 weeks, of course you can talk to whoever you want, be it 3 people, 4 people, but I don't think that you could be emotionally available for more than one person.
I agree.
Right, exactly.
Like when it
come on now.
Exclusivity, I don't know if that's a word, but when people become exclusive, I think you vet the person well before you can step into the, you know, being exclusive with that person. And while you're exclusive with that person, everyone else has to go, right? Because I'm sorry, but I don't have the capacity to be emotionally available for more than one person. If this person is my and my time for me to listen to him, for me to actually be a safe space for him, for me to that, like, you know, just really hear what he's saying, I don't have the capacity or even the heart to talk to someone else, you know. And so yeah, like I feel like is a sticky topic if it's not done well. And it does get overwhelming when it's more than 3 or 4 people at once. Like I feel like you would know if somebody is for you within the first week. It don't take a long time to vet a person. I feel like over.
Hold on.
Like
Who made that noise?
I know.
I did.
I ask questions. If I know Ink, I don't know everyone else. I don't know other people. I don't know these guys that are coming, right? So if I ask the right questions, I would get the response that I need to hear, and then I make a decision, right? Yeah. And it's not, you know, severing ties like, oh my gosh, you're a horrible person. You're just not my person, right? Absolutely. And that's okay. And that's okay. You know, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You will be great for someone else who you're compatible with, because compatibility, chemistry, all of those things matter. Now, if those things are not in place, then it's almost like, okay, so why we here? What am I interested in? If I'm saying I'm interested in someone, what is that thing that I'm interested in? And so just kind of unpacking that in the first week, I would know if I want to, you know, move forward. And I make myself clear, very clear. Again, I'm from New York, so you know, New York is very direct.
What part of New York you from?
And it's not in a negative way. It's more so probably just, you know, like speaking up, like, hey, I appreciate you, but I'm just not interested, you know. But if I am interested, I'll let the person know. Like, you're a good man type stuff, like, you know. But it's really the questions that you ask when you're vetting. I think key. So that way you know how to do process of elimination.
All right, City Boy Justin, we got your response. Mike,
AB, I
Bride,
think me and you in the
Mike
same boat,
Bride.
girl. Me
Mike
and you,
Bride.
AB, we the only person, AB. We the only loyal people here, AB. Me and you,
What?
so, but on a real
You
serious
gotta
talk,
be loyal because you only messing with one woman. Remember, we only in
serious,
bed
serious
kissing
talk.
one.
This
So you
serious talk. Me myself, I'm like you said, you know,
City Boy Justin, you
I
living
be
your
having a
best
whole bunch
life.
of stuff going on, and also based on the fact that I think one of my top 3 love languages is quality time. I'm like, if I come to the point where I'm probably about to be talking to this person on a regular, I don't have time. I don't have time to invest that type of energy in multiple people. So I'm like, I ain't got time to be, I done spent almost the whole day on the phone with you. Now I'm about to do it with somebody else. Man, I ain't got that kind of time. I ain't got time to spend hours on the phone with 3 different people. I ain't got time for that. And like I said, quality time is my thing. So if we clicking on that, we rolling or whatever. So I'm like, I can see, like she said, we asking the right questions and we're not just doing this fluff stuff, then we ain't gotta waste time. We ain't gotta worry about missing out on nobody. Because when we doing the fluff, that's when we prolonging the situation, dragging it along, and like you've been running with this person for 3-6 months. Now y'all done dragged it out.
Ain't no
I'm
way
like,
in
in a
God's
month, I
green
could be
earth.
like, oh no, you ain't the one. Bang, gone.
Can I add to that real quick? Pastor Mike.
Go ahead. You heard me? Why y'all gonna be tired? Y'all know I don't like them tired of stuff. You heard?
All right, I just my head.
The bride is loyal. Hey, everywhere they
Listen, that is so
always with the
infectious, bro. Everywhere we go, you be doing that, bro.
What happened?
Every time we get on the live and Mike is talking, everybody starts saying you heard me in the chat. It always happens. It always happens. I'm telling you.
It. I'm like, we hear
It's
you.
infectious, bro. Anyway, go ahead.
Can I ask my question? So,
go ahead.
It's not a question. I want to highlight something. Talking about dating, right? So a lot of times us as Christian women and men, I feel like we over spiritualize dating. And let me explain. What is when we heard the person, not the first question, but the first instinct, right? Like back in the days, I'm like, Lord, is this my husband? Is this my husband? Is this my husband? And I overlook the practical things of that person, right? Because I'm not getting married to his anointing. I'm getting married to the person, the man. And so if I will pull back a little bit and come down to earth and begin to ask him, what does a good man look like to you? Were you raised with your father? What am I doing? I'm getting into his mind. If I can tap into his mind and understand his thinking process, I would know where my future is going. Because if I gotta trust a man to lead me, I gotta know who's
where we going. I'm not submitting where I don't know where we going. I don't know where we're going.
So I'm asking the questions like, what does a good man look like to you? What do you have someone, a male figure that you submit to? All of these things matter because what that's going to tell me is you're submissive to someone else because God says that you wives submit to your husband and husbands submit to the Lord. So I got to see the dynamics of what that looks like. If I ask a question like, what does a good man look like to you? And you're not able to answer that question, that tells me you're not a good man.
Girl, because one man on a dating website...
a partner or potential spouse, I have to understand his mind. Once I understand his mind, I can make a clear decision without God saying it's my husband or without like it's good to to use discernment. Like, of course, use discernment and look at him through the lens of God and understand like, okay, Holy Spirit, what are you saying in this moment? But I think for me personally, when I wasn't fully like when I first got saved, that was the only thing I was thinking about in my mind, like the spiritual aspect, and didn't think about the practical. And that's
absolutely.
And ask, how do you date being a Christian? read the does this person produce the fruits of the spirit? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. Is this person taking initiative to actually spend time with me? Because if he's not spending time with me now, when we marry, he ain't gonna be spending time with me then neither. Common sense.
Right, but I want to add this to what Ink is saying, because some people like to put stuff in their bio and they don't live it. I was on a dating website, and he said in his bio, I am a man of God. I am a man of God. So I asked him, what does a man of God look like to you? This fool said, I'm not sure. But it was in your bio.
Oh man, you know how many people call themselves child of God, and
that's what I'm doing. But that's the point I'm making. A lot of people got Bible, what's the word, like slang Bible or quotes? Bible quotes, but like what's it called, like a particular language? Not Cantonese, but like Bible. I can't. That's not the word.
I don't go by what people say.
It's Bible, like not colloquialism.
I go by what you do.
People have Bible colloquialisms. So they'll say man of God, a child of God, and you're like, okay, so what does that look like to you? And then they'll be like, I don't know. Or they start listening to stuff, and I'm like, but your page doesn't show that you're that. So you just have to be super careful. That's why you have to ask those questions. But this has been really fun, but it's almost 3 hours, and I want to leave them lingering with something. All right, so take 30 seconds to just give the people a nice tip for dating, something that you've even learned today. Somebody said, wake up, AB, because AB is definitely on and at the bottom, but we got you. We're about to put you to bed, sir. We're going to let you lay down, okay? Lay your troubles. Put you to bed. Right.
I was gonna go with Lord. If my computer don't die, I'm good.
Right.
Anyway,
you can say Justin. Don't come on here serenading the people.
I ain't do that. Listen,
that's why you got 10 women, city boy. That's why you got 10 women. You out here
that's singing. How they do
it. Can I just make sure that people understand? Never mind.
You gotta clear it up. It is what it is.
You said what you said. You gotta clear it up. You said what you said.
I said 3.
You might get Justin in trouble. You better go ahead, click.
If anybody want to talk to Justin, we're sorry. It's 7 more of you. It's 9 more of you. You thought you were the only one. It's 9 more out here. Be careful. He has 2 starting teams. He got the offense and the defense. Girl,
got somebody wondering if I want to.
We out here. Justin ain't coming back. Going to give you 5 on the court.
Justin in trouble.
Anyway,
Justin Bob's gonna be cut up with some mad women now. Am I 1 or am I 3?
I'm crying.
You're the starting 5. Now, I don't know if you on what's it called? If you on the bench, but at this moment he only got 3 playing. All right, so it's only 3 y'all playing. The rest of the 7 y'all on the bench. Okay, so you thought it was leading to marriage of the championship game. You're going to get a ring, but not because you played the game well. You're on the bench.
You got a guard forward.
You get a trophy for coming in 4th place, but you were here.
I'm weak.
Hey, like how you bring it back. It says, do you have an A team or a B team, Justin? A team or B team?
Neither. I'll be. Listen.
Neither. Okay, y'all, come on, y'all. Okay, all right, Justin, give the people something to walk away with, just one, so we can be out here 8 minutes.
All right, something to walk away with. Be authentic. Make sure that you know what you want. And even though there are 30 seconds. Even though there are definitely some things that can be worked on from person to person, like compromise from person to person, definitely do not shake from your core values when it comes to relationships. And always know that even if you may end up hurt, don't bleed on anybody else. Make sure you heal yourself first. Bye.
Thank you. Mike, the bride, what you gotta say?
What I gotta say is, women, please, please, please Don't refer to the man as the bride of Christ. Please don't do it. Don't do it, women. Please don't do that. Please don't feminize the man. Please, just say you want a masculine man, then you made him into a bride. Please don't do it.
The
But
look on her face.
real talk. Um, man, look for the men and women. Please, please, man, stop making all men and all women pay for what happened to you in your past. Stop making everybody the opposite sex pay for what somebody did you, one person did you, or whoever, three people did you in the past. And sometimes we got to start recognizing, look, we chose these people. So why do we keep running into these same type of individuals? How do we keep getting in relationships with these type of individuals? So we have to start understanding that we need to make better choices and stop making everybody pay for something that somebody else did. That's all I got. And I ain't your bride.
Mic drop. You heard me? All right, AB.
You heard me?
Yeah. One of the things I'll say is kind of echo Mike. Like, listen, if you want to date or you want to be in a relationship, get ready for a relationship, you have to make sure that you heal from them past hurts. You don't want to bring that trauma. You don't want to bring those issues into new situations and just jump from one relationship to the next. You just continue that cycle. I will also say it's very important to develop your relationship with God. So you're not looking into other people to fill them voids. You know where to go to fill those voids. You know where to go to get the love, where to find the peace. You know where to find all those things. So you're not looking for those things in other people, but you're going to God to fill those voids. And it's very important for us to get to know who we are as people when it comes to a relationship. Because when we don't know who we are as a person, we don't know what to accept and what to avoid and what to kick out of our lives. And I think I would say for the last part is most important is to when we're single, we have to start developing that mutuality mindset why we're single. When I say that, I mean you have to start moving from that me mindset to that we mindset. We have to start moving from that I to the us, really open our lives to let someone else in. A lot of the times we get so comfortable in being single that we're not prepared to let somebody in our lives. So we don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to compromise. We don't know how to sacrifice for someone else. So it's very important for us to start to develop those things.
Right.
Ink. Amen. I agree with everything and said. Just want to clap for y'all. That was really good. Just also piggyback. I believe that the work starts now. People be like, marriage is hard work, and I remove that. My marriage is not hard. I believe that the work starts now. If the work starts now, marriage, of course, it'll be work. Indeed, things will rise up. But if you have a, if you're fortified as a woman of God or a man of God, it won't be as hard because the work is happening now. The healing, the, character flaws, like you're dealing with those things now. But one thing that I will leave with the people is dating, right? Dating is not final, right? Because a lot of times interested in us, the first thing we're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to marry them. Like dating is not final. Dating is literally, like vetting a person. You're collecting data. If this person is not interested, if this person is not compatible, it's okay. You're not rejected. You didn't do anything wrong. You're taking your time because marriage is a lifetime decision and it's okay to take your time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really my advice, that dating is not final. In the process of dating, gain God's wisdom. Ask God, Lord, what are you trying to teach me as I'm speaking to this person? Because it may not be a romantic thing, but this person or this personality, I might have to deal with this same type of personality for ministry in the future. So what wisdom do I need in the moment for me to take that and apply that to me, right? I may have someone that comes to my church in the future that acts just like this. And so what, you know what I'm saying? What am I learning? So I just really want to like highlight the wisdom part of dating more than is it the right person or the wrong person. I think just gaining God's wisdom in the time of dating is really important.
Hey, okay. So this is what I want to leave with. I want to leave with men. You are the bride. I want to leave with.
Who that said you heard him in the background?
I heard it too.
Let me give my sentiments. I got some things to say. Okay, you are the bride. Accept it. Okay. In the words of Justin, play the field.
Oh.
In the words of Ink, sex is worship. Be naked before God. And in the words of AB, what he said but did not say, don't sleep on us. All right. So we will be in the group and we're going to figure out when's the next time that we're going to do this again. So we really appreciate y'all. We love you. Come back next time. We're going to have the comment section banging what everybody can speak. But it's been really, really, really great, y'all. Bye.
Bye. We started having a private video.
Later, y'all. Love y'all.